Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another American Ricci Mahjong League broadcast. Nathaniel here, joined by Michael, who's doing double duty on commentary and directing this broadcast. How's it going, Michael?
Going well. How about yourself?
Doing quite well, and we're starting off the evening with an A2 matchup. We're already underway. Navitas, our current dealer, is Lucas. To the right, CS Blue is Aaron. Across the table, Mizder is Anthony. To the left, Shinako is June. And we're starting off with a flurry of calls here. Already two across the table by Anthony, who grabs the east wind, has a pair of Dora, so speeding ahead to a 3,900 point hand. Ishan 10 already. To the right, Aaron also with the call of the south, which is Yakuhai. Not necessarily committal to the Honitsu here, but probably just trying to match the speed that Anthony is putting across the table. As for the rest of the players to the left, June appears to be making some type of 789 Sanshoku, but Anthony gets Tenpai first. Waiting on the Tuso only, currently 3 in the wall. We see a second call puts Aaron in Tenpai now for the 3-6 Mon for a 1,000 point hand.
And Anthony switches to the Nobetan with that 8-mon draw.
Oh, draws the Anko of Dora, so this is a Mangan now, and a better weight. 3-6. Fairly live, 5 tiles left in the wall for this one. And as far as the 3-6 Mon, 6 tiles in the wall. Anthony, of course, looking to get off to a great start here, but Lucas finds Tenpai.
This is a brave Ricci.
Yeah, it's that Penchon 3 Mon. 3 in the wall still, despite being a Penchon. And of course, the other players will push right into this. In fact, Anthony might even deal into double Roan should he draw a 3 Mon. But instead, he bought Sumo Penchon. Wow, that is crazy. No Ura found, but 2,000 all. Great start for Lucas. We'll get another dealer continuance. Lucas starts once again. An okay high pie, a Kanchan and Penchon in one completed shapes will not be incorporating the Dora most likely. The Dora is the south. We see one in the hand to the right. That is the south seat for Aaron. A little bit better shapes here. Yamen in the Manzu, and also the backbone of an Itsu in the Sozu. And that 7 so is a great pickup for that hand. In fact, this is already 2 away from Tenpai for that Itsu, maybe Itsu Pinhu. Across the table, this is looking like a Pinfu as well, and also has Itsu chance in the Sozu, just a little bit farther away at the moment. Pinfu seems pretty likely here. And then to the left, this backbone of the Itsus in the Manzu. It seems like everyone is drawing 1 through 9, just different suits. And Lucas here hoarding some of the tiles that are needed by the Sozu players, a couple of the 2 so in hand as well as a 4 so. Might end up shifting this into a Tanyao to help speed it up. And that south one does come out of Aaron's hand, so the first of the door is revealed to the table. The other 3 remain in the wall, but it doesn't appear that many players here can make use of it.
I'm not gonna lie, I had been wondering if there was a plan to wait Tonki on that, but decides against it.
I guess now that you've drawn the pair of the 1 so, you are actually Ishan 10 now. Dianmen Ishan 10. And the dealer is actually drawing kind of nicely here.
Useful pickup.
Yeah, drop the 8-9 Penchon. Can shift into a Pinfu or a Tanya or even Ipeko in the lower Sozu. Would love to draw all that concealed, but as we approach, or as we enter the second row, I might start to think about speeding things up with calls.
I would have a tough time calling with this hand.
I agree.
I would not feel great about Tanya Nomi with this hand, even as dealer.
Especially if you end up waiting on the 1-4 so, right? You can only win on the 4 in that case. Now, if the 4 so does come out, then you have a clear path to the Tanya, but the hand just sparkles a little bit too much for me to want to call.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Still Ishan 10 for Aaron. But Tenpai across the way for Anthony, and we do get the reach Pinfu. Waiting on 6 9-pin. Only 3 9-pin left in the wall. 3 of the 9 pin. The remaining 6 pin are in hand, in Aaron's hand, that is. And once discarded, oh, there's the Ipeco draw. This could also be 7 pairs, as you've now drawn a pair of the 6 mon as well. A couple different options, and I think Lucas might continue to fight here. Won a very nice hand in the first round. Might be tempted to continue pushing his dealer. And for now, still has save tiles to discard.
Sumo.
Oh, but Sumo found first. And will we reach Pinfu Sumo?
No.
No, it found. So just the 27.
It's a solid little win.
That's right. Put Mr. back over 30k. We'll shift over to Aaron's dealership. Been pretty even spread of points as we have had nothing but Sumo so far. Actually, the hand to the left catches my eye. It'll be the hand across from us in a moment. Anko of Hatsu, Anko of 1 pin,
Yeah.
pair of 1 so. The door is the north. I wonder if you can find some more pairs and Ankos in that hand. As far as the dealer is concerned, this looks like a fairly standard Ricci, potentially Ricci Pinfu if you draw well. Actually, Yan Chantan already, as we're 3 discards in. A door just picked up to the right by Anthony. And we are approaching Tepa here as well, a little bit farther away. 1 tile farther than the dealer's hand. Across the table, that sparkling hand that could just call to be a very cheap hand, or could draw incredibly well to be quite expensive. Maybe Sananko is in the cards there. And then to the left, we have your classic Ricci, maybe Ricci Pinfu. Potentially Ipeco as well in the upper so, depending on what gets drawn. There's another pair across the table. So will we find Toy Toy? Will we find more Ankos?
I've been wondering if Aaron was going to go for some sort of Sanshoku, but the draws, the efficiency, considerations denied it.
Yeah, you had that 3 mon, chance for 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, or the 6 mon, chance for 6, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 7. The awkward thing about discarding both is that you're no longer using the Manzu in this hand, so you can only draw in the pin and so tiles to help complete it. But the 6 so is a great pickup. And now Ishantan. Oh, another pair across the table. This is Suanko Ishantan.
Wow.
All right, now we count 4 mon. Oh, there's one picked up. Will we see a Pon? It's early. Passes it. So 1 4 mon in hand. There are no more 4 mon in the wall to be drawn. 1 2 pin in the wall to draw. And 1 of the 1 so in the wall to draw. So Suanko technically possible, but it requires some very specific draws.
Right. I can definitely understand holding out here.
Each.
It was the first one of those 3 tiles, 3 pairs that was visible. And this is
Chi.
a 6-9 weight, and yeah, Aaron will likely deal into this, breaking the Ipatsu and also shifting to Tanyao, but that does deal into Ricci Pinfu and an Ura for 3,900.
Oh, that stings a bit. But
Yeah, it's an understandable move. You
Right.
generally expect edge tiles to be a little bit safer, and then you've got a pair of them, so if 1 tile passes, the remaining ones will as well. And it shifts you into a callable hand, so you can even speed up a little bit. Unfortunately, that was the deal in tile, and so we'll move forward to Anthony's dealership. And Anthony's first try here as dealer, we are in Ace 3. Starts off with a sequence-based hand, potential to incorporate the Dora 1 pin, as well as opportunity to make 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku now, or even 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. Tanyao Pinfu, all considerations as well. To the right, chance at Ipeco in the lower Manzu, lower to middle Manzu, as well as potentially Ricci, Pinfu, or just a Tanyao. Across the table, that's a lot of Manzu, so this looks like it's going to be a Honitsu. And then to the left, well, that hand doesn't look spectacular. It's got shapes, but there are a couple bad ones. That overlapping 5, 6, 6, 8, 9 pin shape is a little bit difficult. Also, a lone door that seems to be disappearing. We see 2 are discarded already. One's from June on the right.
yeah,
and
that's going to be
Lucas
hard to
across the
use
table.
now.
Yeah, and dealer sees the pair in the 7 mon, doesn't feel the need to incorporate another one. Value is holding on to this one so a little bit more than the 6-mon, perhaps thinking about the Sanshoku over the Tanyao.
Right. I think I would be thinking the same thing.
And there's a couple reasons to value that. One is that you could incorporate the 1 pin easily that way. And the other is that it's likely that one of your shapes is going to draw a 1. Either the mon shape would get the 1 mon, or the pin shape would get the 1 pin. In that case, you don't have Tanyao anyway. So now you can see 2 1 mon. It's a little bit harder to make the Sanshoku, but still playing away the 6 mon. You can still angle both directions with this decision. You can go for the Sanshoku, you can go for Tanyao. It's not actually that inefficient to go this route. The other consideration, of course, would be to drop the 2 pin and keep the nice 6-7-7 shape, or just throw away that 1 so finely.
I'm not sure how I would, like, there's a couple ways you could take the hand, and I think this one makes a lot of sense.
We see an Itsu forming in the hand to the left, making use of that Dora. Just needs a 3 pin there, and that will be Tenpai. Or, of course, could draw into the So shape and find Tenpai.
That is some dedication to getting some value out of the hand, but we'll see if it can come together quickly enough.
Unwilling to drop this 2-mon here, perhaps in fear of allowing Lucas to call Poland and speed up the Honitsu. Oh, they're Chi into Tenpai.
Tenpai.
Likely because there's only 1 3-pin remaining, wants to make it needs to make Tenpai rather than seek a little bit more value. I wonder if Jun had not discarded the 3-pin the turn before, if Aaron would have made that call or not. But now I think it's imperative that you do.
Reach.
Reach to the right from Jun, we see Reach Pinghu potential Ipeko on the 3-mon. It is a 3-6-mon wait.
1-3 left in the wall.
Yeah, that's the only tile. Not as strong as you'd expect for a Yuanmin wait. Except for the fact that you can see 3 of the 6s discarded already, and 1-3 across the table in a call. We'll see how Aaron plays this. If he continues to push, the 2-pin doesn't feel terrible, but playing a little bit safe, especially because the Hatsu hasn't been seen yet. In fact, Mr. hasn't been willing to discard that either. It could deal into the Honitsu or the Ricci player. And now the final 3-mon has been drawn by Aaron, will not be discarded. And Anthony decides to fold as well. So it looks like we'll end this round peacefully. And Jun will pick up the no 10 payments. 3,000. Shifting us into East 4. Quick scan around the table. And we can see a Dora in the dealer's hand, as well as a Dora in Anthony's hand. And we'll shift the perspective over to Jun, who is leaning towards a Ricci perhaps here. Of course, good draws could turn this into Pinghu. And, well, there's a 5-7 in both suits, so it makes me think a little bit about the 5-6-7 Sanshoku. You'd love to use that 7-pin in some form in this hand.
Right.
Yeah. To the right, we saw an early call from Lucas of the Hatsu. Might be thinking about shifting towards a Honitsu, but the tiles, the floaters in the other suits are quite good. And decides in the end not
I think they're a little
dragons.
too good to think about that, unless like a 5-so comes out from your Kamicha, or you just keep drawing the right way.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have drawn another dragon, you know, pair up the Jun first, and maybe drop one of your Monzu tiles, and then, you know, float another So tile and sort of start leaning that direction. But it looks like we'll just be building towards a fast hand here, hopefully getting a Dora to make it more than 1,000 points. Well, 1,100 plus the Ricci stick. sorry, 1,300 because of the Honpa. Across the table, this looks like a Tanyao, maybe reach Tanyao Pinfu. Is there a Sanshoku possible? Absolutely. So we'll see how that hand progresses. The Sanshoku will be dependent upon drawing some specific tiles and eliminating one of those pairs first.
4, 5, 6 looking like the most likely, probably.
Right. If you draw the 7-pin first, you might end up discarding one of the pairs and turning this into a 5, 6, 7. Speaking of pairs, on the left, Anthony has 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and a Dora, so I consider that almost a pair, if you're thinking about Chitoi. Oh, Sanshoku probably dying now as we see the 3 connects to the 4-pin. So that's a very efficient Lian Shanten. The second call, by the way, was made by Lucas, and we find Ishanten there on the right. And Jun's hand, our dealer, has completed the Ipeco already in the Pinzu and is Ishanten for 7 pairs as well as just a normal Richi.
An interesting hand.
All right,
well, I think you just take.
Each.
Yeah, you just take this.
There goes the 4 Mon. So 3-6 will be the weight. 3-6 Mon. This is technically Tenpai for Lucas, although I'm not sure. Maybe you can drop the Suji, but yeah, it does not choose to accept it. Would be waiting on a bad Tonki. And Anthony draws an awkward 6 Mon. I think that hand's going to be starting to float away from
Lucas does
Tenpai.
manage to find Tenpai here.
All right, just draws around the Mon shape, and now is waiting on 5-8, and it comes out.
Wrong.
The shift of the draw gives the 8-so to the dealer, who's forced to discard into that 1,000-point hand, plus Honba, plus the 2 Richi sticks. So not all in all, not a bad pickup for Lucas, who extends the lead.
That was some fancy maneuvering. I'm impressed.
And this is a sparkling dealer hand.
Wow, yeah. You really can't hope for much better than this.
And for a potential 3-sided weight too, if you can draw the 6-so. We saw an early call of the Haku on the left, hoping to make Hakudora 1, potential Sanshoku as well. Oh, with that 4-pin draw, you wish you had that 3-pin back. Could have had 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku on top of everything else. We'll take the pseudo-headless shape here. A lot of tiles will put this in Tenpai. To the right, this also looks very Tanyao-esque. And that is Ishanten, actually. Oh, an upgrade for Lucas here. Now Ipeco is possible. Three-sided shape for Aaron on the right. Very good hands here. I don't think Anthony across the table is going to have a chance to catch up to these ones. Could call
I don't think
Tenpai,
so.
but Aaron wants more of his hand.
Not the so tile you needed. But...
And that's the more that Aaron was looking for. Richi, potential Tanyao on the 4-pin. Was it a one? It is a 1-4-pin weight. 5 in the wall. If you're dealer, how much are you pushing this?
That's a really good question. I think I would be willing to push 4-so against this Richi, given the 5-so discard in the first row. But I think if I didn't also have Tanyao or Ipeco chance, I wouldn't.
Lucas decides the lower Monzu might not be the best route and will instead play around it. The 6-pin is safe and might find a route to Tenpai similarly to how he won the last round. Now this 2-pin, though, is problematic. Can still play around and use the 4-so as a pair. And if you reach Tenpai in the Monzu, you can maybe push the 2-pin. But it just looks kind of scary against this 6-pin reach.
Yeah, it does. Finding the head by discarding the 5-so is a move I hadn't considered, but that is smart.
And you can work around it still if you continue to draw around that. Oh, here's your Tempai, but it's Hudi 10, so I'm not sure. Oh, we'll hit it anyway. 3-6 Mon. Throws that 2-pin out there. We'll need to Tsumo. No 6 pins left. There are 2 3-pins left in the... Oh, 1 3-pin left in the wall. So drawing into 1. And...
Sumo.
overfinds it!
Oh my god.
How is he doing this? This is the second time he's won on that.
This is some... There's a little bit of luck in Lucas's favor here.
That was like a 1 versus 4. But all right. You take your wins as you see them. And, well, this is not a bad starting hand either. 3 Yanmen shapes, as well as the Haku and Sha pairs. Haku being the only Yakuhai here. We might see a fast Riichi already drawing into one of those shapes. Do you call the Haku if it comes out early? Or do you let these shapes ride? I guess we'll find out.
I do, yeah. I think with Adora in hand, and like another callable shape. Or in like these shapes here, I'll just call.
Yeah, I think the draw of the Dora 5-pin was a big decision factor. If the Dora wasn't there, maybe you wait a little bit longer and try to increase the value.
I think so.
But yeah, I think I agree with this play. And Ishanten now with a callable hand. Who can fight this in terms of speed? To the right, Shimocha not really with a spectacular hand. Across the table, that looks like it's building to something, maybe an Itsu in the Manzu. And if you might end up finding the efficient draws to push you towards Chinitsu, in fact. The left looks like a Riichi, but I'm not sure it's going to get there soon enough.
I don't think so. Though it's not too bad.
The one thing that Lucas might struggle with is the 3-6 Mon is getting drawn by the other players at the table, and the pin tiles keep coming out. It's not the suit you're looking for, but sometimes this happens. You make a call and you need some very specific Yamen shapes. You think my shapes are pretty good. I should be able to pull this together. But then all the tiles that come out are not ones that you're looking for, and you sort of get the sense that the ones you need are being collected by the other players. And I've seen some maybe more intuition-based players just throw an entire set away and say, you know what, I don't think I'm ever going to get these tiles. I'm going to build somewhere else where they are coming out.
I don't tend to play that way, but I have heard people describe their thought process like that.
I also don't tend to play that way, but there are times I felt like maybe I should, and that sure enough, sense. I just don't win the hand because they're all being collected. Oh, there's some merit to that line of thinking, I think. Anthony actually getting kind of close. This should be Ishanten.
Oh yeah, needs some specific Manzu tiles there.
The 5 Mon would be kind of nice.
Each.
Of course, okay, we see the Riichi. Will be the 2-5, but no Itsu this way. Still Riichi Pinfu.
Yeah, I expect that. Oh, well.
How about Riichi Patsutsumo Pinfu? And an Ura? Why not? And that's important. It was important that not only Anthony wins the Moncon, but that Lucas was the dealer. This actually makes things quite close for first place as we move to South 2. And looking at the anticipated dealer's hand, had a smattering of honor tiles and a bunch of Pinzu. Maybe was thinking about the likelihood of making Honitsu here. But decides to start with the North, play it more of a normal hand to begin. And now I think
now you start clearing out your junk in the other suits.
2 of the Easts have been discarded. See, a Dora drawn. Well, that's awkward. To the right, no Dora. And okay shapes. Have the Uncle already of the 4-so. But I'm not sure if this hand wants to be Tanyao or just a Riichi. Or if you can make Ipeko in the lower Manzu. Across the table, this looks more like a Tanyao. Except for the fact that you're Dora is incorporated in the 1-2-3 shape. So maybe just aiming for Ricci there, unless you can draw or call a Forso. And then to the left, Lucas. Well, that's a pretty average hand if I've ever seen one myself. Looks like he's been just discarding all the honors and hoping to replace them with better tiles. And it has been drawing well. There's a
Kanchan fill is nice.
Fill. Yeah. Now, what's going to be awkward for Aaron here is the fact that he's drawn the Dora and the 5-so, which really needs a 4-so to complete that shape. But we can see that that's very unlikely to happen. There's only one left in the wall.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Might get stuck trying to use this Dora in hand. There's a world where Aaron could try to call for open Itsu and make a Yaku that way.
You need the 2 and the 7. Yeah, it could happen.
Right. Still discarding the other suits, and now an Anko drawn to the right. So shifted away from the 8-9 Penchan. Otherwise, the hand would be Tenpai. But I wonder if we can build towards San Anko now.
Tenpai for Lucas.
Here would... Oh, I'm sorry, you're about to mention the Tenpai?
Yeah, just noting that Lucas just reached Tenpai.
And did not declare the Ricci here. This is Pinfu.
Pinfu only.
Unless you win on the 6. In which case it's Pinfu, Sanshoku, Tanyao.
Yes. Okay, I can definitely understand that. I didn't catch the Sanshoku at first, but yes, that would that makes a lot of sense.
I wonder if the change in value is the reason for the Dama here. Like he'll pass up on the 9-pin row. Although he is in the lead, there is some incentive to reach just based off of that factor alone. Interesting. We saw Chi from Aaron, so I think these 9 pins are coming out, and sure enough,
the passed. Now it is trapped. The 6.
Oh, that's the worst case. You'd you have to take it now.
You have to take it.
And that's where you wish you'd just thrown the stick in, but the end result, you pick up some points, you increase your lead a little bit over Anthony, and we'll move to South 3, Anthony's dealership, and I think I know what he's going to do with this hand. Actually plays it a little bit more cautiously than I was expecting. Perhaps the lack of the presence of any honor pairs means that this could turn into Tanya. Oh, but to the right, we already have Tenpai. How is this a turn 2 called Tenpai? And the Haku and Chun.
What a nasty one, too. Not worth all that much, but...
No. Yeah, this is awkward. This will push... A win would push us to South 4, and June would still be in 3rd place, but with a little bit of a gap on 4th. There's another pair in the Manzu. Hatsu comes out first. Dancing close to discarding that Haku. Not just yet.
I very likely comes out the next useful draw.
Seven is still leaning in the Tanya direction. And there goes the Haku, so this will... Oh, wonderful. Okay, maybe thinking about calling Puln and then finding another pair and increasing the value a little bit, but I'm not sure the difference in values is worth passing the win there.
I don't think it is.
And so we will take... June will accept the win there, and we'll move to their final dealership. Oras Chun pair, Dora in hand. Good shapes elsewhere as well, so we might have a chance at a dealer continuance. To the right, we've got reasonable Pinfu shapes. No Dora, though. Lucas doesn't need value here, though, just wants to finish the game. Across the table, Aaron has okay shapes and a Dora in hand. We'll be aiming for something that's worth enough to pass 24,000, so a Mangan. Reach Dora Tsumo Ura, that's good enough usually. And then Anthony on the left is trying to surpass Lucas for first here. Has a reasonable hand for declaring Ricci. I'm not sure if he'll be able to find much more than that.
Doesn't look like it unless I mean, could accept Dora, but beyond that, I don't see a lot more value there.
Yeah, if you can find the 2-mon, then there's a route to Pingfu. For example, draw the Dora, discard 5, pin. Draw the 2-mon, declare reach for reach Pingfu Dora 1. Shift to Tanyao is a little bit tricky here, because if you draw the 6-pin, you'll probably replace the 3-pin. We see a June call from June. Now,
considering whether to keep the Dora in hand, does.
You're right. This way, you're pretty much locking the 5-so as your pair, but you could pair up the 2-pin and then drop the 5-so, or you could draw a connector to the 2-pin, like the 3-pin, and then discard one of your mon shapes.
But which
Typically,
one?
You drop the 4-5, right?
Yeah, that's I would think so. But
8-7 comes out, and now that will not deal in to Anthony's hand because he did not declare the Ricci. He's hoping to draw into a Yamen shape, perhaps, or there's upgrades on the 2-pin Dora or the 6-pin for Tanyao.
Right. I don't think that's the upgrade you're looking for.
Yeah, it does make the upgrades worse, though. Now, if he draws a 7-mon, he'll be 50-10 for the Pingfu. And of course, if he didn't choose to wait on, on the penchant there, the 7 would have come out. Here we go again. Same choice,
These
but now you have pure 7-mon.
Frustrating draws for Anthony.
At least you have a Suji trap for the Shampon. Oh, it just throws it. And I wonder if he'll give up on this Manzu shape altogether. If you draw a 1, 2, or 6-pin, you might think about building Itsu.
Do you think that it's a little too late for that, or
it's approaching that territory?
Now you wish,
to 5.
Yeah, now you wish you'd kept those 8-mons.
Oh, South Anko drawn by Lucas here. Ishanten now for that double South, and a callable hand, of course. I wonder if he just throws the 6-pin with reach. Nope.
Not on that.
6-mon.
Not on that weight.
Yeah, it looks awkward, but you've dropped nothing but Manzu tiles.
That's true.
You've got a Suji trap, potential Nakasuji as well. If the 7 comes out. We do see Tempai on the right. It is a silent 5-8-mon wait. Or double South. Of course, the value doesn't matter that much. June paired up the Dora. Still in this awkward position of needing one more tile to find Tempai. Ishanten across the table too. We're in the 3rd row, so everyone's close. Either Tempai or Ishanten.
Aaron potentially in trouble if he reaches Tempai.
June calls the con, draws into Tempai, waiting on the 3-6-mon. Discards Dora, and maybe because of that, Lucas will throw the stick out. Realizes that June is going to fight no matter what, and so wants to be able to accept the win.
Which 10? Yep. I was just saying.
Awkward draw for Aaron. Fights back, but deals into Ipatsu. Son! How in the world do you hit that? And well, Baimons.
Oh, that hurts.
That's a lot of value for Lucas. Well, that was quite a finish. Lucas saying Dama for so many turns. Finally declares Ricci just in time for Aaron to hit Tempai as well, and unfortunately that dealt in. But Lucas the big winner here with a plus 43.2, and Anthony will claim the second. Plus 10.9. Didn't declare Ricci for so long. And actually that 5-mon would have dealt into Anthony in the end as well. But no head bump would have just made it more of a painful hit. And I'm sure we'll see the standings update. Currently, Anthony now 5th place, plus 61.8. And Lucas climbing as well. In the positives now, plus 9.6, just outside of the promotion range. Top 7 will promote here. And currently, looks like 2 of the players in this match are in that promotion zone, both Aaron and Anthony. So despite the 4th place, Aaron's still pretty comfortably in that zone, and we still have more games to play. I think they'll be playing all 4 tonight, right?
Yes, that's right.
So we'll get to watch a few of these, but we'll also be switching around to the A1 match when that begins. June as well, just behind Lucas, so all 4 of these players in the hunt for a promotion slot.
Yeah,
Right,
the
let me
pretty much actually a lot of the promotion zone here is relatively close. There's 5 players within about 50 of each other. Crow is far out in front, but
This will be the 2nd season in a row where Crow has led the division. I believe they were playing in B1 last season and really dominated that division and doing quite well here as well. So perhaps we'll be seeing Crow in A1 in the fall.
very
Seems
likely.
quite likely.
Yes.
As there's only one more session after this one. We are in week 5. I shouldn't say week 5, but session 5. There are 2-week periods. Of course, the snaked round will follow, where your placement will determine who you fight against in the last round. So I guess there is a little bit of jostling for position, I guess, at this point.
Definitely. It looks like there's about 3 minutes till the next game.
Okay, so we'll have a bit of a gap before then. Perhaps we can go on a quick break, and we'll come back with game number 2 of this A2 matchup in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We are about to begin the second match of this A2 series. Our first dealer will be Jude. To the right in the south seat, Anthony. Across the table in the west seat, Lucas. And to the left in the north seat will be Aaron. Just coming off of a big win was Lucas, who is making the push to the promotion slots just outside the range right now, but another win like that, and he'll be reaching the very end slots.
Yeah, another one would put him right up into 7th.
Alrighty, well, we've heard the gong. June starts us off as dealer. This looks like a pretty good starting hand. The high pie sort of leans towards Pinfu, although now that you've drawn this 8 mon, you can incorporate the Dora 7 mon, and we'll take any Ricci at this point. To the right, this looks like a very close hand. This is Ishanten already. Potential 3-sided weight upon a 2-pin draw. Or Ricci Nomi. Could even turn this into a Tanya in the future, or potentially Peiko. Across the table, Hatsu pair and a Dora in hand. Oh, this pair of the one so is quite nice already. Looking very good for an open 2,000 points, or Ricci Hatsu Dora, something along those lines. On the left, this hand looks like the exact opposite.
This is a Kokushi attempt if you've ever seen one, yeah.
Yeah, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a pair.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that's
11
the hand.
towards Kokushi.
Unfortunately, I think some of these other hands look like they could get to Tenpai fairly quickly. So we may not see this Kokushi come to fruition here.
Still Ishanten for Anthony on the right. Dealer still looking for a Dora. Oh, that's Tenpai. Do you take the Ricci? Ricci Nomi? Not.
What are the upgrade paths here?
Kind of thin.
Yeah, I think you might have to dump that shape, that 1-3.
Yeah, you have some upgrades. If you drop the 1 pin, you can upgrade with a 4 pin, or you could draw into Ipeiko in the upper pinzu. Instead, Anthony chooses the Dama here, perhaps valuing the 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, but you could commit, like, it's almost a hard commit with the 1 pin discard, but that would be a bad path. And if you do draw the 2 pin, you can just Furi-ten reach that. This is another good floating tile that, yeah, there we go. The 1 pin gets discarded for a better floater, because you can accept Dora now and declare Ricci with Ricci Dora. Be nice.
Okay. On Kokushi watch, Aaron is not happy to see those Easts come out.
Oh no, there's 3 of them gone. And Aaron is just missing the East and
the North.
North also 3 times cut now.
Oh, that's so well,
it's likely to come out at this point if it's drawn, as we see a Ricci from Anthony. Ricci, Pinfu Dora. Tanya managed to turn this hand into a monster, and Atsumo, the call
is a call.
Yeah, 8 mon into hand. When that happens, you feel like you shouldn't have done that, but no, not found. Just the Mongon. It's still very nice pickup for Anthony. Great way to start this game off.
If you're Anthony, you are grateful for the assist there. Absolutely.
And now, assisted, I don't know if you call this an assist, but 4 pairs? Some people like pairs, and a Dora, so Chitoi Dora 2 is not bad, especially as dealer. The right could be moving towards a Junchan or a 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku. With a Dora 1 pin as well, could be incorporated quite easily. 5 pairs for Anthony now. Chitoi alert. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Dropping the 2 so. You could set up a Suji trap with the early 5 so. So I think Anthony isn't quite committing to the Chitoi here. Wants to maintain the flexibility of building a normal hand. And that makes a lot of sense as dealer. You want to maximize your chances to continue. And perhaps for that reason might call this Chun.
He's really thinking about it.
Yeah,
decides to abandon the cheat. Yeah, I think maybe as dealer, I tend to not want to see Chitoi hands pop up for me as dealer specifically.
Yeah, that choice to drop the 3 mon here makes sense as you're looking to discard a pair, and the 1, 2 pin shape even though it's the awkward shape here, you want to keep the Dora. So,
Of course.
immediate back 4 fire. Why not?
1
I was trying to think of the merits of the 6-mon over the 3-mon and setting up a Suji trap, but 3-mon might be more of a sticky tile to find later. Rather, you can draw connectors to the 6-mon fairly easily. And of course, there's the 7-so as a choice as well. Well, there's the 6-mon. Just drawing Ankos of everything. Haven't gotten around to all the hands just yet. We see Ishanten across the table for Riichi Dora 1. And then on the left, looks to be a Riichi as well, but there was a call of the 1, 2, 3, so Sanshoku confirmed on the right. Just looking for a pair there.
Okay, question. If you can call that 7-mon, do you try for the Junchan, or is this just Sanshoku?
I think I do. Well, you'd start by probably dropping the 3 or 4 pin, the 3 pin.
1
And then the second you draw anything else,
Right.
a terminal, you shift to that. In fact, I think there's valid consideration to keep the 9-so on the turn before, because regardless of what happens, you were seeking a pair anyway, and the 9-so is just as good of a pair as the 3-pin is. So I think,
this actually is only a
Each.
4-pin weight.
yes. Riichi to the left. That's just a 1-pin Tonki, actually. Dora Tonki. Ooh. What is safe here?
Neither of those tiles looks very safe, but
Drops the Dora Suji. Perhaps the thinking was, if the player had a 3-5-7 and discarded the 7-pin for the Riichi, and they're waiting on the 4, and they probably would have dropped the 3-pin to wait on the 6, if that was the hand. Just because 4 is Dora Suji. So they probably didn't have the 3-5-7. So maybe the 4-pin is slightly better. I'm trying to find some justification.
I'm
Oh,
not
gives
quite
up.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucas just did not like these middle so tiles. Anthony finds the Nakatsuchi, still battling, trying to get Tempai here to continue his dealer.
相撲
Sumo found across the table. I not even notice the Tempai there.
Yeah.
That's Sumo Dora 1.
We were too
Or
busy
Eric.
analyzing Anthony and Lucas's plays.
And of course, that hand is farther away from our viewpoint, a little bit smaller on our screens. So looking the ones first to foremost, but that is the hand that wins. Aaron pulls it out. And of course, we see Lucas, now the dealer, a large amount of pin tiles. A good presence of the Pinzu, as fellow commentator Blaine Singletary would put it. And potential Sananko chance, Toy Toy. Kind of interesting.
I think you wish you could make use of the 6-pin somewhere in here, but it's just not in your hand. So
If you do draw it, then you might think about shifting towards Chinitsu. Oh, in fact, just
we are going for Honitsu then.
yeah. I think I like holding out for Suanko a little bit, even though it might be a little harder to do.
I think if the Dora weren't so readily usable, or if it were in a different suit, maybe you make a different choice.
Yeah, that's fair. We see to the right, Riichi possible. I'm not seeing much more out of this, but across the table, I'm quite interested.
We have a Doko chance across the table. I
Anko.
want to see it. I'm rooting for the Doko.
Don't we all? I think, see, 1 mon to the right, 1 pin in front of us. The rest are in the wall, so still chance to be drawn or called. We did see a call of the 8 pin from Lucas, so one step closer to building this Honitsu or Chinitsu even.
Yeah, if you can't pair those honors up, I would say Chinitsu is the move.
The problem for June across the table is that hand is Ishanten. So upon
Each.
drawing into Tenpai, you probably just take the
Boom.
Ricci. Although, okay, we see a call. As Ricci to the right is made from Aaron. Just Ricci Nomi, it looks like, waiting on the 8. So, and this is not Tenpai. The value is going to be the Doko. So it's Doko or nothing for June.
That's a bold move, and I appreciate it.
We are absolutely here for this. Anthony on the right called the East, has a Dora. Tuso does not deal in, no Yaku.
Boom.
But Anthony will make the call into Tenpai. 2-pin, 3-pin is the weight for this East door of one hand. Oh no, Dora drawn for June. That's not the end of the world. You can still wait Dora Tanki upon finding a 1-pin.
That would be such a spicy hand. I want it to happen.
If, let's say, a 4-pin comes out, so if Lucas starts to fold, I don't think he's folding this hand.
Doesn't look like it.
I guess, yeah, there's just so little chance to discard the 1-pin here. You really need it to complete the hand, unless you draw a 2-pin, I suppose. Or if you're just fighting for Tenpai with this 4-so draw. The 4-so is safe. We're not sure about the 5, I think. Yeah, if the 4 comes out, then it's likely the 5 will follow upon reaching Tenpai. Here's a 1-pin.
Throw it.
Yeah, it comes out. Pull north, Dora Tanki. There's 2 in the wall. Doko Door 2 from Mongon would be amazing.
We need it. We need to see it.
And Mizder confirms the 5-so is safe, so Lucas has a path to fighting for Tenpai as well. Mizder is wondering, where is my 3-pin? It must be in the hand to my right, because anybody else would have dropped it by now. It's actually in the wall. Oh, good call, but that doesn't really help the hand. More questions posed. How do you feel about the 4-mon? Oh, decides to finally give it up.
Con?
We'll still aim for K10, but... What is the con reveal? 7-so? For Aaron, that helps out. 2 8-so left in the wall, and we're running short on tiles at this point. That is such an aggressive con. I love it.
Yeah, I'm highly amused.
It's 2 versus 2, and the 8-so wins out. We'll see if that con makes a difference. Well, already helped with 1 Dora.
No
Ura, though.
Rough break for Aaron.
But wow, that was quite an interesting battle. Almost a shame to see the Doko didn't win, but
A little
nice
bit.
pickup for Aaron. And we will move to set East 4. Looking around the table here, we can see the door is the south, and a quick scan reveals that Lucas is the only player with a door on the left. Our dealer has a very nice hand, potential Tanyao Sanshoku. Even Pinfu is available as well.
6, 7, 8 is clearly in mind here.
Absolutely, and there's worlds where you end up on the 5, 6, 7 as well. So probably we'll hold on to this 5-so for as long as possible, maintain the flexibility. Now might be the turn you discard it, though.
I think it probably goes this turn, or just toss the 6 back. Oh, there was an extra pair. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Will do that. And that's a committal, because you could still find Tenpai on the pair itself and drop one of your other shapes.
5, 6, 7.
It's hard to be inefficient doing it this way. Ishanten now kind of needs to be the 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku at this point, but a 6-so draw would allow you to fight for it. Looking around, there's potential. Oh,
what else is going on?
Yeah, potential Tanya to the right. Anybody else look good? 4 pairs on the left and an Anko.
Anthony's hand looks pretty good, but has a Ryankon to take care of.
Oh, there's your 6-so. We're gonna see the Ricci?
Maybe.
You'd
Each.
expect it.
Yeah, I think this hand is too important to. Well, it's early enough. I think if it were later, you may Dama, but
So Tanyao Pinfu, if the 4-pin comes out,
right.
as a Dama is only 2,900. You'd like to be able to, or if you'd sumo that, it's a little bit more, but you'd like to be able to get a little bit more value from the
Right.
Ricci. If you Dama and found the 7-pin, then that's a Bongon, and it feels like your Dama paid off. But are you willing to pass the 4-pin if it comes out? Or if
not in Aaron's position. I don't think so.
and if that's the case, I think taking the reach is totally fine. And this way, if you draw the 4-pin or any tile, you don't feel upset about it.
2 of each. No, one 7 and 2 4s left in the wall.
Technically, June is Ishanten on the right. Would need to complete an Anko of the 5-pin or 6-pin. Drawing a pair of tunes makes you feel more comfortable in discarding them.
Anthony picks up one of the 4-pins, so I think 4-7 does not in any way look safe against this Ricci. Oh, but there's the last 4-pin in the wall. Unfortunately, the Yasume for Aaron here.
But because the Ricci was declared, you're earning a little bit more from this. So 26 all, 7,800 total, and a nice pickup for Aaron, who now shoots into the lead. 42-8 is the total currently, and Ishanten from the first discard. Can't complain about that.
No, absolutely not.
Now a better Ishanten will be getting Pinfu out of this, likely. Unless some wild maneuvering happens. It's almost guaranteed. To the right, we've got June has the south pair, and that's just a single south. We're not yet in the south round as we have a dealer continuance. Oh, here's Tenpai.
Each.
Another early Ricci. 4-7, so is the weight. Ricci Pinfu. The door is the Haku. We see one to the right, one across the table, and it's so hard to discard those tiles now.
The 4s and 7s currently we can see are pretty well nestled into hands, but
Presence of a second Haku might give Mizder some inclination to push, especially since it's an early reach. And you've got 2 of the Dora. What is the likelihood that hand has a lot of value to it?
yeah, I think it's possible.
But finds the safe 2-mon, 3-mon instead, so not pushing full force towards the value. You will need to likely get a third Haku unless you are planning to use that as the pair in this hand. And this is the moment of regret. You start to draw towards Tenpai. You think, well, if only I hadn't discarded that 2-3, I could be Tenpai now. For Ricci Dora 2, rather. But in this case, the 7 So would have dealt in.
Right.
And it's really a waste of time to think about things like that while you're busy defending and trying to build your own hand. Maybe that's a good spot for after the game. Take a look and see if you should have considered pushing more. Oh, one step closer now. Still discarding from the safe suit, the Manzu.
Only 2 of those tiles left in the wall now.
If you draw something like the 6, so you have to take the reach, right? I mean, you have a 3-sided weight. Even if you draw the 5, so Ricci Dora 2. Here we go. Decision time.
Each.
Yep, there's the reach. Which one? 3 was set up a Suji trap, and it does. All right. So Anthony dodges the deal in, and now Tenpai on the 6, so which 3 are in hand. Oh, and it comes right out. The Suji
Oh,
trap wins.
Wow.
Nakasuji for the win. It is Anthony who picks up the Mangan. That is a huge pickup, and I am pretty sure that the Nakasuji trap was what he was going for there. So it's so
Yeah.
satisfying when your sneaky traps pay off.
Definitely.
There really was no indication one way or the other of which tile was safe for the 3-so or the 7.
No, I don't recall there being any information there.
Other than the fact that you held 3 of the 8-so yourself. But it doesn't stop the 4-7 wait. So well played. And for June, now the dealer, trying to make up some points, make it into a positive finish, get over 30k.
Possible Ipeco, possible 567.
Absolutely. And of course, the 5-6-7 would incorporate the 6 Bond Dora. We see one of those in the hand to the right, as well as an Anko of the Hatsu already. So the wall rewarding Mizdur. Hand is Ishanten, actually. Across the table, Haku pair. No Dora. Potential Sanchoku 4-5-6. But that involves dropping one of your pairs, and so perhaps a little unlikely to come to place.
Aaron wanting to secure first with a Honitsu here.
Not in the East round, so that is not Yakuhai, but does have a Dora, not a Dora, but can potentially incorporate a Dora or two into the hand. As we actually see one discarded by Anthony. As I have enough value here, I just need to move this thing forward. Calls into Tempai, in fact, waits on the 8-so, which will come out of Aaron's hand if drawn.
Oh, yeah.
The only player, in fact, who could really use it is June. And June is approaching Tempai. It's another draw for Aaron. The second pair in hand moves us a little bit closer to increasing the value with Toy Toy.
That's an awkward shape, though.
It definitely is. You know, usually the 4-4-5-5 isn't great, but you throw a 2 and a 7 on the ends, and it just somehow looks worse. Even though it, after you call a 3 or a 6, you have a better resulting shape. It just doesn't feel good. And here we see a nice pickup for June. There's that 6 Mondora. And a 5 drawn. I wonder if June will push for the Sanchoku, and that is the play. Ishanten now.
That's definitely the play.
Another 5 here.
Now you just... Yeah.
I think June wants to get rid of this Monzu before it becomes dangerous later.
And now you can pick up a 1 peen or a 5 peen there.
Absolutely. Still get the Sanshoku. You see the Haku pair from Aaron on the left, but that's Mochi Mochi with Lucas across the table. No, the 8-pin there would have been Tempai, but instead it's the Sumo
Anthony
for
gets Sumo.
Mizdur. The 8-so finally comes out.
Extending his lead to about 4,000 now.
All right, South 2 now moving steadily forward. This dealer Hypai has a Dora and 1 completed shape, but awkward tiles the rest of the way.
Leaves some to be desired.
Absolutely. Well, to the right, this looks a little bit better. We've got a completed shape in the Mon as well as a pair, and in fact could build Itsu out of this, painful likely. Dora incorporated in a Yamen shape, so a hand I definitely like. For Lucas, across the table, this is moving towards a 789 Sanchoku / Jun-chan maybe? There's a world where that happens. And on the left, well, we see that Hatsu Anko already. Or once again, it's Ishanten already. Ideal draw, of course, would be the 8-pin there.
I think. Okay, yeah. Getting rid of the extra pair here in Anthony's hand.
I think the 9-pin is also totally valid.
I think that would have been my instinct.
The pair is probably more efficient, but the 9-pin forces uses of the Dora.
Right.
And perhaps in the dealer position, Anthony just wants to maximize speed at which this hand will come together. The other nice thing about the 1 Mon discard is your hand looks more like Tanya once it's finished. So you could even potentially start calling your way to an open hand. This
with a 4-so, especially, yeah, that could work.
Oh, another pin tile drawn for June, and it looks like they will be aiming for Honitsu at this point. And Anthony, with the pickup of the lower So tile, shifting towards potential Itsu in the Sozu.
That's an interesting play, but I like it.
Shanten all around. We see one to the right, one across the table for that Sanshoku. No Junchan this time. Although if the Haku is paired up, you could shift to a Chanta. And here's Tenpai, though. I think we'll see the reach. Yeah, 2 7-so already discarded, but this is a hand that has a little bit of value to it. 5,200 minimum. Only 1 7-so left in the wall, but Chase, we'll see Lucas Chase. And the 3 mod comes out, but this time it's not his winning tile. June grabs the 7-so. That's problematic. The 3-6 pin wait for Lucas is actually 1 left. The final 6 pin is in the wall. Anthony might be struggling a little bit here. Yeah, just finding a path to defend with. Oh no, the 6 pin drawn.
That's so unfortunate.
Will deal into reach Dora 1. No Uda found, so still pretty cheap, 2,600 points. And Aaron, of course, will have another chance in South 4 as dealer. But currently we have Lucas, who will be taking the reins here in South 3. Aiming to climb back up, at least surpass June for 3rd. Starts off with, let's say, an average high pie. Could shift into Tanya fairly easily. To the right, we've got Penchan, Kanchan. Awkward.
Indeed.
Aaron trying to make up 8,000 points.
Not going to happen with this hand, I don't think.
We need some spectacular draws. Across the way, in June's hand, we have 2 Dora. Well, that looks pretty shiny.
Oh, and can call the Shah.
Yeah, Shah, or even call for the 2-3-4 Sanshoku. I wonder how that hand will develop. I think you might just throw this back. Oh, discards the 2-4. So I think the plan is the Shah. And then this way you can, by retaining the extra pair, you can call the Dora for a Mangan. Of course, to the left we have what looks to be a Chanta Hatsu. Well, here's the Hatsu. And there's Tenpai for Chanta Hatsu Dora 1, waiting for the 2-so. Very fast hand from Anthony here.
Yeah, incredibly fast.
But Lucas speeding it up as well, calling a second time for the Tanyao, Ishanten now. Three pin there doesn't advance the Shanten, just puts you headless and with some awkward shapes. So
yeah, I was just about to say, I think Aaron is again in trouble here.
Yeah, the 2-so did not fit the hand and deals into the very fast Tenpai from Anthony. So we enter South 4. Dealer Aaron, who is in second place currently and is trying to chase Mizder down, has a Dora to start with, couple Yanmen shapes. So this is a workable hand. To the right, June in 3rd place by just 2,000 might want to build something fast to lock in the current position, because it seems like it's going to be a difficult task to make a Haneman out of this.
Yes.
Of course, if the goal is to make it over 30k, you would pretty much need a Haneman at this point.
I think it's just damage control.
Yes. Across the table, that hand looks great for Tanya, or there's even 4 pairs, but Anthony doesn't need to do anything fancy here. Tanya is good enough to end it all. And Lucas, well, this could be 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku if he's trying to put together a big hand. Of course, could also be in damage control and trying to just make the 2,600 points needed to surpass June, or 2,000 point sumo. Door draw wouldn't hurt Lucas here at all. June, a second call. Shantan now. It feels like the exact same position that Lucas was in the other hand. The same
Gee.
sort of Yankan, Penchan, or sorry, Kanchan, and then pair. Just the tiles got shifted around a bit. Anthony also making the play forward for the Tanyao. Ishanten there.
Aaron finding ahead, and now is Ishan.
All right. Ooh, and another Dora.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We might see the
Cut the
6-so here.
6-0 or Formon.
Yeah. This is efficient
Boom.
because you still get to draw the 5-mon, and even though you have to give up a Dora, I think you'll take the Tempai
I see.
anyway.
Long.
Oh, but just Anthony too fast. Once again, shutting things down. Tanya does indeed end it all with Mizder in first place. And, well, that's a positive 35.3. So Mizder continues to climb in this division. Will be heading to the 100-point mark. Aaron with a positive finish as well. That's not a bad result. Plus 8.6. June in third with negative 15.4. And Navitas, the fourth place player, negative 28.5. That Suji trap from Mizder earlier was really the key in this match, I think. So, of course, we'll get a chance to look at the standings as we await the start of the next game, which is a couple minutes off. Just checking now. It looks like Anthony plus 97 points in fourth place, just ahead of Aaron now. I believe the two swapped places. And looking good to retain a promotion slot currently. Just out of range still Lucas and June, the closest competitors to that 7th promotion slot. And we still have 2 games to go, so we'll get to see at least one of them here. I don't think at this point the strategy changes too much, just based off of how these games have gone so far.
Right.
We still have an entire 4 Hanchan to be played even after these final 2 are set for the evening. So at the very least, if you can maintain your position, your current position, and give yourself a chance in the final round, that will be the bare minimum that you should hope to attain. And then, of course, you're hoping to do a little bit better and gain some ground, but that's your strategy in all games anyway. So yeah, I think nothing too fancy here expected from the players. Just, again, play your best mahjong and hope to make up some points. I think the match that we'll see after this will be kind of similar, except the players have a little bit different goal. Goal, of course, in A1 to be the first place player overall. And so rather than fighting for several promotion slots, you only really have one goal. And we'll see the current first place player, Minko, a little bit later tonight. A few seconds away from starting this one, Lucas will be our dealer in the south seat, Anthony in the west seat, June, and in the north seat, Aaron. The gong sounds and we are off. Lucas with a Haku pair. West is the Dora, none in hand, but reasonable shapes and a nice pin floater tiles. Might be one of the call and go type hands.
To the right, think so, yeah.
We see on the right, Anthony with the good shapes, potential Tanyao, potential Pinfu. Across the table, June. That 9-mon pair makes it a little bit awkward. Looks like you're probably going to make Ricci here. Tanya a little bit harder at this point. And then Aaron on the left with a pretty standard Ricci Pinfu type hand. How eager are you to call this Haku? Should it come out within the next few draws?
With this hand, hmm.
I was going to say the hand is lacking a pair, but headless isn't a bad state of being. At least not in Mahjong.
With the Dora pickup, I'm a little bit more willing to call.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Dora Tanki in a division with no, in a league with no red fives, is fairly strong. Hand to the right still looks incredibly good for Tanya or Pingfu. I want to make a Sanchoku out of this as well, but maybe that's a little too greedy of me.
5-so is a nice pickup.
Proves the shape, especially with all of the 3-so getting discarded.
Yeah, that's
really
not going to work out.
Plan. I think perhaps Lucas is retaining this 2-so because it's hard to use the 2-so for the other players.
Right.
So likely they don't actually have it in hand at this point, or they have multiples, but there's a chance that you could draw into a pair. In worst case scenario, of course, your shapes are pretty set, so you could use that as a safe tile later on.
That's what I'm thinking.
A 7-8-9 Sanchoku is being constructed to the left, and Aaron is Ishanten for that. Could also shift to an Itsu in the Pinzu. We'll wait and see how those draws develop. Would need a 1-pin or 6-pin to make the Itsu play, and an 8-mon or 8-so to make the Sanchoku play. I think, your decision depends on what you get first.
Right.
Of course, the Sanchoku is Ishanten, and it's locked, so you might just always choose that path. Well, this is another opportunity to switch things up. Go headless. He chooses to maintain the current state of being.
Another Adora draw for Anthony, but throws it right back.
The hand looks too Tanya to include Adora. Well, now pairs coming in multiples for Lucas. Doesn't want that many, though. Will we see a call? We're about to hit row 3. And Anthony might start to feel some pressure. This is awkward because Tanya does require the inclusion of the 6-pin. But fortunately, the player to his left cannot use the 6-pin.
Aaron does, in fact, shift to Itsu.
Upon drawing the 1-pin. And there's a choice there. Do you drop the 7-9 Mon or the 7-9 So? And I see 2 8-Mon discarded and none of the 8 So discarded. So I suspect that's the reason why that play was made.
Yeah.
Again, Ishanten, as Lucas dropped his own Dora. Here's the Haku finally, and call into Tempai. 3-6 Mon is the weight. Only 2-3 Mon left in the wall. Oh, and it's drawn immediately. Well, for some reason, the 3 Mon really loves Lucas. It seems like he's constantly winning on that tile. All right, we've entered the first continuance of Lucas's East 1 dealership. And, well, an extended Diankan in the Pinzu and a Diankan in the Sozu means this hand... Well, I put it in the awkward category. Oh, that 1-pin. You have all the odd Pinzu. Of course, you can incorporate the door and shift this to a Tanya in the future. We saw an early call of the 9-Mon. And now the Hatsu follows. So Toy Toy Dash is the play for Anthony, already Ishanten with all the pairs necessary. Of course, if he were to draw the East first, then we could see Toy Toy Hatsu East Chanta. But the 1-pin comes out first, and we'll grab the Tempai instead. 1-Mon, 4-pin.
You don't see Honro very often in league matches, so that's another one to root for. But again, it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. So.
Oh, you're right. I misspoke on that one. Yeah, Honroto is one of the rare Yaku in this league. We've seen quite a few of the rare ones. You had a Sankansu, maybe a couple of those. We've seen the Doko. We've had some wild Yakuman.
Boom.
There is a Dora Call. So perhaps Toy Toy Brewing for June as well, although that would involve discarding the 1-mon into the Toy Toy that Mizder's found Tenpai for. For Toy Toy Dora 3, that seems pretty worth it, though, to push for. More pairs drawn by Lucas. Wishing you had that 7-pin back, but nothing to do about that now.
I really think that 1-mon is not going to stay long in June's hand.
Oh, wow. Commits to the 7-pin again and draws the 4th one. How wild is that? So this is actually Ishanten for Lucas, who I think would be happy to call anything for Tenpai and just get out of this hand. Oh, there's the Dora right after you drop the 5. This has been a hilarious hand. Like, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You're at the mercy of the wall. All you can do is laugh at the draws that have been given to you.
I stand corrected. That 1-mon is not actually coming out.
I think June is probably saving that for the end, given the other tiles are generally more dangerous.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Might even want to Tanki or the Tuso.
Actually, probably thinks that Anthony actually has Honro.
Yeah, it could be a Honro call as well. That's correct. Oh, well, here's another pair. So Tuso comes out first, still dodging, and will Aaron drop it first? Aaron's hand at this point looks so terrible. I think should consider just plain folding.
I think that's probably...
Yeah. They have been doing that before I noticed.
Yeah.
South was once cut. Oh, here's Tenpai.
Don't.
And the hesitation even there sort of signals that June was aware that this was a dangerous
there was
possibility.
a possibility, yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that is how the tiles played out, and it will be Mizder who picks up a nice little 5,200 point hand. We'll move to East 2 as a South pair, in fact 3 pairs overall, but this looks like a normal hand, not a pair hand. Perhaps.
Yeah, you can still manage to get Pinfu here, and commits to it pretty much, I think, there.
Likely be using the South as a pair here.
Right.
Of course, if you by retaining the 8-pin, you can incorporate the Dora, possibly. To the right, this hand is 2 away from Tenpai, or another Pinfu. Across the way, another hand that is 2 away.
Actually,
this one has the Dora already.
Some kind of Sanshoku also possible for Anthony here.
There is a world where that happens, yeah. So I wonder if he draws the 9, so what his play will be. You can just drop the 6 so or the 3 so.
Yeah, I think. Or either one, yeah.
You could lean towards the Itsu as well with something like the 7-pin, sort of hedge towards both hands.
That probably just gets
7-mon was the one I was looking for. On the left, I want to see an Itsu come together. Would need the 3-mon.
Well, I mean, it's Lucas, so maybe the 3-mon will come.
Right. There's one more in the wall, and somehow, I think both of the times he won, there was exactly one in the wall.
No, he needs to pick up 6-pin Dora, and then Dama on the 3-pin, or on the 3-mon, and then...
For like 8 turns, and then go Ricci with Haitetsumo. I think we've just called it. We'll just wait for that to happen. Oh, but Anthony gets
Each.
Tempai first. It will throw the Ricci stick out on the Shampon.
Each.
Oh, but chased after June draws the Dora for Reach Pink
Each.
Dora 1. Immediately, Aaron follows on the 2, so Reach Dora 1 there as well. Well, I'm not even going to call the weights here. The 4-7 looks terrible, just with the number of tiles that we can see lighting up. The South is still in the wall. The Tuso is 3 times in the wall. Actually, the Kanchan might be the best weight here. I guess there's still 1-7 so in the wall as well. Oh, there's the South, though. Ricci Uda, so 3,900 for Anthony.
Aaron been having a bad night with these
Ricci
post-Ricci deal-ins. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems Mizder has been... Anthony has been Aaron's Achilles heel as far as the Ricci's have been concerned. Always cutting off his hands before they can come to fruition. Well, this hand, it looks awkward for Anthony, and we already see a call to the left from Lucas with Adora and Honitsu possible. Also the Yakuhai East. Not sure if this is going to be a Honitsu or a Chanta.
Yeah, I think it depends on if you draw. That I think leans towards Honitsu.
Absolutely. Now you have 2 Yakuhai East called Ishanten. If you get the West, do you wait? I assume you wait North Tonkin, right?
Right. Yeah. There's
now if you draw a 4 or a 1, do you switch that away, or do you still like the North Tonkin? Oh, I like the 9 better.
Wait.
So this allows you to incorporate the 8 or 7 mon draws.
I see. I think I keep the Peitanki, but maybe Lucas is a better player than me. So.
There's also considerations to dropping the 2 mon, but you really want to be able to use a Dora if you draw that 2. So it makes sense to keep the 2 mon around as well.
Right. That does make sense.
And even having this last 9 mon around, you could potentially con.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we see a Ricci, so maybe con is off the table. Another Chi. Oh, this is so awkward. Aaron Ishanten, but headless. Lucas called the Tempai and does do so, waiting on the Dora. There is one left in the wall. Oh, and it's drawn! What is this cursed frame? Lucas wins it again!
Oh my god.
This is insane! Alright, note to self, if you're ever playing against Lucas, never drop the 3 mon against his Ricci's. And that skyrockets Lucas to the lead, 44,000 points. I feel like that has to play into your decision making at this point. Is my weight bad? Yes. Is it the 3 mon? No. It's not bad anymore. It's the 3 mon. That's all I need. All right, June dealership. Desperate to make up for that. Dylan, of course, couldn't help it. You were Tempai, you were in Reach. And I was just so unlucky to draw the final Dora. Has a Dora in hand. Would love to make use of it, but the rest of the hand is so awkward.
I expect this hand doesn't make it.
Every other player has a better hand except for possibly Anthony on the left. But just looking to the right, we see the Chun pair and a Dora. That's a callable hand, but the one that calls out to be the most is Toyman's hand across the table. That is Ishanten ready for Reach Pinghu or Richinomi. June found the 8 so that allows the Dora to be incorporated. And that's a big pickup. Now drawing a 4-pin connector. So 2 away from Tempai now. But Lucas gets there first. This time not waiting on the 3 mon, so might not end up winning. It's a Sanmin-chan though. 369 is pretty good, and unfortunately June draws it.
Well, June didn't need that extra pair, so it's safe for now. Kanchan Phil. Actually, yeah, Ishan. But a very dangerous one.
Yeah. You could drop the 3-mon there. It was safe, but then you have to make a
Nope.
follow-up play, and this sort of path makes sense. It's just Lucas had an amazing
And
temp by
another
the final
Uda
8
for
pin.
for Lucas.
So with the Uda, that would be 3,900. Plus you get the Ricci stick back, extending the lead a little bit, moving into East 4. Aaron Dealer now with 3 pairs of Pinzu tiles, as well as a couple others, and some lone honors. One of those is the Dora, though, so does that make you lean a little bit more towards the Honitsu?
I think so. Yeah.
Especially if it's a non-Yakuhai honor. You want to find a way to use it. I mean, pairs is still a consideration. You have 3 pairs right now. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a freeze, but we'll be able to refresh into this. And yeah, I was just having the conversation with somebody about Honitsu when you've got a non-Yakuhai Dora. We can see that Aaron has been leaning that direction.
Yeah.
Cutting all of the Sozu tiles.
Apologies for the freeze.
Oh yeah, that's a Tenho thing. It just happens. And we haven't missed that much. Has anybody found their way to close to Tempai?
I'm
not seeing it
June
really.
is fairly close. I think everybody is like 2 or 3 away, though.
I bet Aaron was a little bit sad to have to discard the 8-mon there and sort of reveal which suit the Honitsu is in. It makes it a little bit more difficult for June to drop the 7-pin. A tile that Aaron would gladly accept in this hand.
Could Sakigiri it, but you know, some people you can have Honitsus already ready by this time, so. And you don't want to, you know, well, there you go.
There it goes. And so Aaron might end up on Dora Tanki here, or turn this into a full-blown Shinitsu. So here's an interesting question. 9 pin comes out. Are you conning?
Oh, I prefer if it came out after my next call.
Okay, when you're already Tempai?
Yeah.
You do get a draw that way out of the dead wall. If it comes from the player to your right, you do get to skip 2 players' draws as well.
Maybe I take it.
Yeah, I'm not
strategically,
sure. You also are...
Yeah, I'm not that into the idea, but like from the dopamine perspective,
you leave yourself a little bit vulnerable to Ricci.
Chi.
Well, there we see the Chi into Tempai, and this is a Dora Tanki, Jigoku Tanki. And there's 2 con opportunities.
That would be an insane way to end this hand.
Rinshan on the final. Dora. Well, the worst thing you con and reveal the last shot to be the Dora indicator.
Oh, that would hurt.
Call across the table for Tempai. This is Itsu. Itsu only. Waiting on the 4-7 so. 6 locked away in hands though. 1 discarded, so only 1 in the wall. A 1 versus 1. And this is actually Tempai on the right as well for 3-pin 4-so. But breaks it up after drawing the 9-pin, so maybe we won't see that con. Lucas has no incentive to deal any Pinzu here, so that's why we didn't see the Ricci. Maybe we'll end up finding Tempai in the end. Oh, but drops the 8-so instead. Still a chance now.
Oh.
Don't.
There's the final 7-so. That will deal into 1,000 points. A shame to see such a sparkling hand go to the wayside. Didn't really have an opportunity to switch off of that Tonki weight. You know, there are a number of pin tiles that would have improved the weight, but
Right.
could not find any of those. Instead, we'll move to the south round where Lucas, this is the dealer, has the East pair in hand and a Dora. We'll need to draw a connector to that Dora, but pair is a great way to connect to it. We'll probably be opening this hand, though. To the right, we have potential Itsu, perhaps, in the Sozu. Outside of that, just looking to be a Richi. Across the way, Hatsu is callable. Dora, connector in the 1-mon, but that's kind of lonely out there. The only Mon tile in hand. And if more So tiles like this are collected, I wonder if June will lean towards Honitsu, although the early cuts of the honors indicate that
I
maybe
don't
they're
think
looking
so.
to just make a normal hand. Yeah. On the left, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, pretty basic Ricci Tanya hand.
Could even be more. A Dora is drawn, which might pose
At
some
the
questions.
6-mon.
6-mon for now. Yeah, if you can draw some more Ankos, there's maybe San Anko chance. Could make build into an Ipeko in the Sozu.
Yeah, the only issue is that you really want to draw a 3-so or a 5-so because you need value. You can't open this hand.
Those tiles are being drawn by June. Actually, 2 of the 5-so already in hand. Now maybe, leaning towards that. Honitsu does call the 7-so in the end. Hatsu comes out, and we'll see another pawn into Tempai for Honitsu Hatsu, 3,900.
I didn't see that one coming, but I guess the draws favored it.
That was not forcing it, but ended up drawing into it quite well. Oh, Dora drawn, but you have to throw that back. And Aaron actually has drawn a connector to the Dora, so fighting for Tanya Dora 1. Might even con the 3-pin should that come out. We saw Lucas call the East into Ishantem for the East only. Hand to the right. Anthony seems the farthest away right now.
Yeah,
it's so sad when you're Ishin 10 and you discard 3 of the same tile in a row. Five-mon. You'd rather have... Oh, Dora pair up. Okay. So chooses to drop the 5-4 shape because this can turn into Toy Toy. And in doing so, Dodge is dealing in on the 3-so. Likely doesn't want to drop any Sozu anyway, so this is ideal. Oh, Tempai, you can drop the Dora for this. Do you give up the Toy Toy, though, but at this point, 14 tiles left.
The Toy Toy seems extremely unlikely.
So also extremely likely either of these players winning this hand. They both need the 3-so. Only one left in the wall. And of course, Anthony and Lucas will never drop that if drawn. So 9 tiles remaining. 1 tile to draw. Who will get it first? June can switch the weight to a Tonki and chooses the 5-so Tonki. Call by Lucas shifts the draw order. Lucas will be the one with last draw now. And might even still be fighting for Tempai. Seems unlikely at this point, though. No 5-so in the wall, so only Aaron can win. 3-so was not picked up, and so we will find Ryukyoku. Aaron and June both grabbing the 1,500 points, and we'll move forward once again. Dealer did not maintain Tempai, or did not find Tempai, in fact. South 2.
What a high pie for Lucas.
Oh yeah, look at those Sozu. And the Haku as well. And a Tuso draw immediately. Well, I think we know where this hand is going.
That's
Boom.
Insta-call.
I would actually like. I would have been tempted to keep that closed with draws that lucky.
Yeah, so...
But, well, I guess you don't need value.
Right. In first place, you can extend your lead out of Mongon Sumo range. It seems like a totally fair play to call. Lucas has been drawing quite well tonight, though. And Aaron hasn't been drawing Sozu tiles, so it's probably just fine. We saw Anthony attempt to speed up the hand. Assuming the Hatsu will come out eventually, but June is holding on to it. June might be thinking about Chanta, although the 6 pin is drawn instead of the 9 pin. There's the Hatsu. And that's a Yanshanten, actually. Anthony, there's a So tile, and that's Tempai for Lucas. 5-8 is the weight, and the 5 comes out. So another really fast hand, and that was so good for Lucas to hit your direct competition like this with 4,200. Sure. That all but locks up this game.
Probably feeling quite safe now.
Yes. Don't have to do anything fancy here. You can probably...
And that's good because that high pie is unfortunate.
Well, it does pair up a dragon, but yeah, it looks like that will not be a hand to work to completion. Maybe you fake out the Honitsu here. Well, it is June who is going to attempt to put a comeback here. Has the June... Oh, wait a second. That's Haku Hatsu now.
Leave it to the wall to make me eat my words.
Well, we can see the Chun in hand, so let's not get too excited just yet. Aaron on the right. Might end up switching to Tanya with the East pair cut, depending on what gets drawn. And actually, a call from Lucas, who now sees a path to Tempai. Calling straight for it. There's the Hatsu. June drawing well, though. 2 away from Tempai at this point. The potential Suji trap June 1-pin weight. Anthony just fighting for Ricci. Oh, backfire on the 3-so, but of course, you never know what the well will give you. Ishaten now for Lucas across the way.
The biggest upset here would be if Lucas draws into the Haku himself and can set up the Soshangen like in stealth.
Absolutely. Because you see the first call, you know Lucas is in the lead. You're expecting, okay, just fighting for a quick hand to push us forward, but quiet Shosangen would be huge. Now, it's not so quiet anymore.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, and the June came out, yeah. So just taking the Tempai here. June calling the June. Oh, Toy now. Well, let's maybe get a little greedy. This is Mongon. Waiting on the 2-mon, 6-mon.
2 in the wall.
Mon does look like the danger suit here. June fight for Tempai as well, though. 2 5-so's the weight, but that also looks dangerous.
Yeah.
Kind of have to draw it yourself. There's a few more tiles in the wall, though. Actually, we haven't seen any of the 5-mon yet. So 5 in the wall. Oh, but of all tiles to draw...
Yep.
And that's just the kind of game that, unfortunately, June has been having this time. Just always getting the wrong tile at the wrong time. And that will pretty much lock up first place for Lucas. It's a matter of what could the other players do at this point. Aaron really the player with the best chance of making a comeback here. And it will be Aaron's dealership in all last.
Well, 6, 7, 8 is a possibility here. I expect to see a little bit of hedging towards that.
Absolutely. And you're probably not too upset to even just call for a Tanya here. You know the other players will be aggressively moving forward, as we can see Anthony calling the Hatsu right away. realizing
Yeah.
it's probably too far away to push
Right.
to fight Lucas for first. So just trying to confirm a positive second.
Yeah, maybe you can't play around for value after that call.
It's unfortunate because you really want a little bit more value to get yourself over 30k. Lucas, though, drawing well. Already Ishan 10. 8 pin would be the ideal draw here.
Home.
Who can call the south? June. And this looks like damage control from June. There are 2 door in hand. So it's not going to be enough to change placements. But at least you can move out of the negatives, which always feels like some positive result. And maybe claim as much as a Mongon out of this. Ishan 10 for June. Ishan 10 for Anthony. Of course, we have the Ishan 10 from Lucas. Temp by now for June on the 4 Mon. But could call into a
It
well,
gets it
Sumo.
for non-Nora
Alright.
to...
Well, that's some compensation. It's not exactly what you're looking for this game, but it's worth something to you. And it is Lucas who's the big winner this time. Well, Lucas and Anthony have been trading out 1 and 2 for 3 consecutive games, I feel. Maybe just one of the games had a different result.
Yeah,
Plus
because
43.4.
Lucas took a fourth in the path.
Yeah, it was Mizder and Aaron, I believe, who went 1-2 in that game. But Anthony grabs the second place, plus 10.2. Aaron third with a small negative 11.9 payment, and June with the negative 41.7. All right, so I think we're going to get our final score update for at least this A2 series. And I'll head over to the standings. Check this out. It is Anthony who's climbed all the way up to 3rd place and almost overtaking 2nd. There will be one more game to see if he can climb all the way up into the 2nd position currently, although it's like Zilong has a few games yet in hand to play. Aaron's still in the promotion range. 5th place.
Aaron was in a good place coming into these games, and so had a little bit of padding here, but not nearly as much now.
Yeah, could afford to lose a few points and has lost a few points, but still the distance between 5th and 7th, which is the final spot, is over 30. So, 39 points. It's doable within one session, but
you just don't want to have another table like this one.
Right. And you can't expect it to happen every game. Like, there have been some just incredible Tsumos in this game. I'm thinking about all the 3 Mons.
Yes.
And for the other 2 players at this table, Lucas, again on the climb, now even closer to that 7th slot, only 12 points away with 1 remaining to be played. And of course, June now has to think about a different goal, which is avoid demotion. Currently, the final demotion slot, or the closest to the safe zone, is the 99.9 held by Sichuan. June only 13 points away from that, so a little bit of concern here, but again, your goals don't change. Still play the best Mahjong that you can and hope that you don't get unlucky like you got in the last game.
Yeah, these have been some rough games for both Aaron and June.
Yeah, and should be noted, not necessarily based off of the play per se, just the wall has been very trolly, I feel like, in these games.
Yeah.
You declare Ricci, and of course you draw the winning tile of the player who chased you down.
Of course.
That is Mahjong, and a big part of the game is just mitigating those losses when you see them. All right, well, I know that...
Yeah, we plan on switching to the A1 games when they start. There will be a set of 2 of them. Those are probably not for about 10 minutes.
Okay, so should we go on a maybe extended hiatus? I
Yeah,
shouldn't
I
say
think
hiatus,
we are
extended break.
taking. Yeah, I think we are about to take a about a 10-minute break.
Okay, well,
And
when that match starts, I'll look forward to seeing you all here for the A1 action.
see you soon. Oh, I need
Welcome
to.
back, everybody. We are about to begin the A1 matchup. All right, looking at the names here. In the E seat,
I'm switching them up real quick.
Minko to the right. Simon across the table. Max to the left. Vincent. We'll get those names set up for us in just a second. And as they appear, looks like Minko as first dealer with a okay hand
Boom.
to build towards some type of Riichi. To the right, Simon with an early call might lean towards Honitsu, or just build a fast and cheap hand. Across the table, a lot of pairs in that hand, potential for some type of outside hand. We can see an Ipeko already built in the lower Pinzu. Still has opportunities to move in different directions. Max will discard the 4-pin to confirm that shape and hopefully draw around some of the other connectors. To the left, in Vincent's hands, we see a Dora and some Tanyao shapes. Perhaps if more calls come into play, we'll see Vincent spinning this hand up as well.
I think I just expect to see Simon win this cheap hand here. But
Yeah, decided the Honitsu was a little bit too hard and found some better draws in the other suits. Still some awkward
yeah,
shapes.
actually
Penchan,
some
Kanchan,
lots of
Kanchan.
Kanchans there still, so maybe not.
But one of the important things is at least callable. Oh, interesting draws for Vincent on the left. Now up to 5 pairs, so Ishanten for Chitoi Tanyao, potentially Dora too. You could Dama that for a Mangan, or reach for guaranteed Hanemon potential Baimon.
I do think that's... I mean, it being early in the game leans towards the greedy play, but I also just don't... I feel like the Dama makes sense, if that's how it goes.
Especially if you're concerned about players being able to read your weight and defending properly. We see a Tempai to the right. Simon does find the 4-so Kanchan weight for just 1,000 points. 4-so's being pretty well used in hand here.
Vincent strongly considering just going for a normal hand there.
The trouble for Vincent starts okay, here's your weight. Which one do you want? Do you deal in?
Boom.
Yes.
Oh, that probably feels pretty bad.
Yeah, it's quite a shame. You even drew the Dora side of things as well. Unfortunately, the 4-so was the wrong so tile. Simon will pick up the 1,000 points. So a very quiet start to this game. We might see some explosions later. Currently at this table, two players
already picking up a nice Dora that fits right into the hand.
Absolutely. And of course, Minko leading the division currently. Vincent not too far behind, only 50 points behind. And if Vincent can get some direct wins with Minko falling behind, we could see an exchange of places. And so this battle for first overall in A1 quite tense. A Chun call across the table in, well, I guess that's the South player's hand. Max, otherwise known as Light Pink Yoshi or LPY, calls the Chun, disrupting what could be a nice dealer hand for Simon, who is currently on our right. Although Simon does have a pretty good hand here, we'll get a closer look at it now. We can see the potential makings of an Ipeko in the Pinzu. A hand that's a couple tiles away from Tempai, but Max, another call. Still headless. Not a lot of value here, but just hoping to end this thing. And there's your head. Ishanten now.
Probably just doesn't see a good route to value here. Can't really use the Dora.
And sometimes the thinking is just, if you don't have a good route to value, end the hand as fast as possible to make sure that the players
else
who
does
do have
either.
the value. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's take a look to the left here.
Each.
Minko will declare the Ricci. 5 so Kanchan. Ricci Nomi. Sorry, Ricci Dora 2. Let's not forget about those Doras.
Yeah, I don't think
Drastically
that
changes.
you would see a 5 Kanchan with no other value.
Yeah. Especially when there's opportunity to make Itsu or just a stronger weight.
Right.
But Ricci Dora 2, totally fine to go for. 5,200 points.
Just
Max
one of
kind
those left in the wall.
Yeah. Unlikely to leave Vincent's hand, and Max still pushing is kind of in an awkward spot where it's really hard to defend against this. Maybe your best bet is to just keep pressing forward, and this is Tempai, should he take it. And he does indeed, so we might see another 9-pin come out. That would deal into Max's hand. 8-pin first,
Interesting.
but there's the
Don't.
9. And perhaps Vincent just recognizing that Max changed his hand and pushed a tile, and therefore might be Tempai.
That was an interesting read. I
Yeah.
would have missed that.
When you're looking at the Ricci player, well, they're just discarding tiles. It's important to watch the other players to see how they're reacting to it.
Right.
And that 5-mon was not safe from Max, and so I think that was just a very good read from Vincent. Speaking about Max's hand, Haku pair, Dora, this looks really nice. 2 tiles away from Tempai already. It was some very... Ooh!
Wow.
With some good draws. Could even be Chanta. You'd have to drop the Dora, though, but Chanta Sanchoku, I think that's worth it. Oh, I guess you'd also have to drop a pair.
Yeah. I feel like that's a little distant, though. It would be very flashy and fun.
We see an early call of the East from Simon, who has 2 Dora in hand, so this is not an inexpensive 3,900. And importantly, the Haku is leaving this hand because Max sees the potential for Pinfu, which you cannot get with a value pair. If that pair could become Yakuhai later on, then it will not count for Pinfu. And there's 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku possible
Still
here for Max as
possible,
well.
yeah.
And no concern that the Haku is coming out here. You want to reach this hand anyway. Forget the 2,900 from an open hand.
Do you, if one of your Sanshoku confirming tiles like that, I was just about to ask, do you call?
I probably wait, actually.
Gee.
Because there's only one call from Simon. If there's a second call, I would push for it. But perhaps Simon recognizes that... Max recognizes that the 1-4 is starting to run thin. So it's a little bit more difficult to draw those yourself. And just wants to keep this dealership at all costs.
And it pays off.
Nicely done. So 2,900 here. Sancho Kudora 1. We'll go again. Time not as quick of start, but still Sanchoku possible. This time in 4, 5, 6. June is the door. We see 1 to the right. Tanyao, perhaps. Of course, you'd love to use that door if at all possible. And Vincent, I feel like, is a player who values the door a lot. And there's a second one, so no need to hedge. You just got it.
Very, very lucky draw.
Pairs across the table. We see 3 of them, but also Tanyao type tiles as well as the backbone of it. Itsu and the Manzu. And to the left, Simon. That hand is not fantastic.
No. It's who needs to commit already, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the players will see this and start to become wary of the Pinzu, and might serve well in slowing down the rest of the hands. Ishanten across the table for Minko, although I think they would, almost prefer to draw into a Pinfu. A bit of regret, perhaps, that the 4-mon was the cut there.
Yeah, a minor backfire.
A minor one. Still, Ishanten still chances to draw into Tempai here. You also would like to move towards Tanyao, so it makes a lot of sense to perhaps... oh my goodness, well, forget that thought. 3rd Dora drawn. That's a hidden uncle of the Chun for
That's
Vincent,
gonna-
who is Ishan 10.
That's gonna be nasty if he can pull it off.
And look at these discards. If you call Chi for Tenpai, no one is going to expect
Yeah,
Dora
that's
3.
right.
So
They're
it's like
just going to
100%
expect that
Tanyo.
you're calling
Eat.
Tanyo to shut the dealer down, right?
Well, here we see a Ricci from Minko waiting on the 6-pin 2-mon
Wow, what a
Shanpo.
draw for Vincent.
Sumo.
And of course, he'll push by Ibatsumo. Minko shuts it down. No
Wow.
chance to win this Yakuhai Dora 3 hand. And, well, this is why Minko's on top. If you can just shut down all the big hands, that's actually huge. We're back in East 4, and Minko's over 30k again. We're just about even in this game.
Home.
And this table seems incredibly disruptive. Max, of course, calling for quick hands, as is Simon. And Minko with the Ibatsumo shutting down a manga and Dama.
Yeah, Vincent had just reached Tenpai, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Max, again, not an incredibly massive looking value hand here. But whereas that means the value is somewhere else, right? Across the table, Simon looks to be making Chinitsu in the Dora suit. To the right, there's a pair of Dora and a Hatsu. And Vincent has a really nice Tanyo hand that could potentially use the Dora as well. So once again, we'll see if Max can shut things down.
Home.
There's a second
Certainly
call.
trying.
He shunt that
Gee.
now. And Vincent recognizes this play. I've seen this before. Let me speed up my own hand. Now, Max cannot use a Dora, which is a little awkward. I think he'd rather drop it sooner than later if he were to draw it.
Yeah.
Simon technically Ishan 10 by retaining the 8-9 shape, but decides to just go all out for the Honitsu/Chinitsu.
Minko probably wondering, where is the Hatsu?
Well, there's one sitting in Simon's hand.
Chi.
Minko speeding things up, hoping
Yeah.
the Hatsu will come out eventually. And it just might, although Max has found Tenpai on the 2-5, and that is going to leave Vincent's hand. So once again,
Shut
job
down.
round down. Job done by Max, and still holding on to a tenuous lead in South 1. We'll move back to Minko as dealer. A nice hand, 2 away from Tenpai already. Hatsu pair, chance to incorporate the Dora.
Yeah, this is a very nice hand.
Looking around, we see to the right, that looks like a Ricci. Across the table, a Tanyo. That has a Dora now, so that's a little interesting. That 2-2-4 shape, 3-pin being the Dora indicator is kind of hard to find, but you really want to use that Dora.
Right.
And Vincent's hand on the left, probably the worst looking of the bunch.
Yeah, that's gonna need some work.
That 6-mon upgrade is very nice. Now you've got a Gyeongkan shape. Gyeongkan is
Minko
better than Hedgehog.
considering the Sanshoku, I believe.
Thinking about a way to get there. Ends up discarding the pair, perhaps leaning that direction. Can also... So if you're going for the Sanshoku, you're going to drop the 2-3
The
pin then?
Yeah, you give up potential Dora acceptance, but it's kind of an awkward position to be put in because there's a couple ways you could take the hand and they seem equally profitable.
So okay, this draw, I think you might give up the Sanshoku.
Yeah,
Because now
that's fair.
your value is going to be in the Dora, probably.
right.
If the 6-pin had been drawn instead, I think you can still fight for it.
Right.
Or any of the other Sanshoku shapes. And yeah, the 6-so
Boom.
coming out. Now there's a chance to... Well, 2 calls on the left.
Home.
Otozuke for the Chun, but the Chun does come out.
Eat.
2-5 pin is away, but Minko finds Tenpai. This is Ricci on the 1-pin, 4-pin. Ricci Nomi, 4-pin would be Dora. Will we see another Ibatsumo? It's looking tough. 2 1-pin left. 1 Dora left. 1 Dora
No.
4-pin.
No Rinshan attempt, as amusing as that would have been.
Now I wanna see it. Oh, but there's the 5. And so another hand goes by the wayside. Look at these score lines.
This is a quick game.
Yeah, so many fast ones. And Max is the only player over 30k, surprisingly, despite there not being any huge hits. Minko's 4,000, I think, has been the highest scoring hand so far. Riichi Patsumo.
Minko having a callable hand, so may just go for it if the right tile comes out.
At one Dora, we're in South 2, so moving over 30k into South 3 is rather important. Simon with 3 pairs and awkward shapes outside.
Pairs up the Dora.
Okay, now you're definitely comfortable calling. And if you can hit Max directly with 3,900, you've suddenly taken first. Shapes steadily improving. Max perhaps thinking about the 1-2-3 Sanshoku. Toyman's hand, Vincent's might be the best one here. I think this is Ishanten. Riichi Dora 1. I wonder...
Will he trust in Sanso when it comes up?
Right. Well, I think you have to take the Riichi regardless, being so close in score.
Right.
There's nothing to do here but wait to draw your tile. Another pair drawn for Minko. This is 4 now. Still maintaining maximum efficiency here. And the first tune was discarded as Vincent's first choice, and so if you start to open as Minko, you're really relying on the last one to come out.
Right.
Finally, a hand that we haven't seen a call in the first row and a half. Another pair. Will Minko make the switch?
No, it's just keeping maximum callability now, I think.
Yeah, still just leaning a little bit towards the Chitoy.
Yeah, balancing ability to call with Chitoy Ishan.
But looking at the tiles, the 7, 8, 9 are terrible for Chitoy.
Yeah.
8's all gone. 9 all gone.
Right.
7 twice cut.
1
We see the Riichi across the table. It will be the 5 or the 8 coming out here. The 8. Oh, but that's Tempai for Minko. Now, you're not going to declare Riichi because you don't have any winning tiles remaining. But Minko can switch this weight up. 3 so is the weight across the table. 2 left in the wall. And there's a 9 so.
That's a better weight, yeah.
That's a fine Dama. Chitoy Dora 2, 6,400. Plus you get the Riichi stick.
What does that look like?
Hatsu, I'm not... Yeah, there's one
Yeah,
cut.
it's better.
That's a good weight. I think we'll see... Well, I guess we just have to see if one gets drawn.
Right.
Simon drew the third 3 so. And is Ishanten here. Max is out. There's the Hatsu, and Minko will win this one. We'll have to check Uda. Riichi, Chitoy, Dora 2,
Yep,
Uda 2!
Haneman.
And...
So, Minko takes the shortcut.
Yeah, shortcut to Haneman. This game has been blown wide open.
Vincent being frustrated this game pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, early Riichi doesn't pay off. And we see Max now with some ground to make up. Has a Dora connector in the 2 so, but not necessarily the most amazing of hands here. 3 mana is a nice pickup, so there's a 2-3-4 Sanshoku chance, or just Tanyao or Riichi. Right, that hand is 2 away from Tempai for Riichi Pingfu. Across the table, also Tanyao-esque callable as well. And that's Minko, who certainly has some incentive to call for a Tanyao to end this round.
Simon is Ishan, potential Pinfu on 4-so pickup.
But this is Tempai.
Does not get that first.
I mean, this is 2,600, so I think you've got to take it.
Right.
Riichi Dora 1. Max not only breaks the Ipatsu, but fixes one of the harder to complete shapes. And now is Ishanten. Vincent, better Ishanten now. Has Ipeko chance and Dora acceptance. There's the Dora. I'm sure we'll see a fight here.
Yeah,
Do you reach or
have
not?
to,
The 5 pin is Genbutsu. Chooses the Riichi route. If from 4th place, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it would be a misplay to not.
Absolutely. Well, just by itself would be Pinfu Dora 1. It's only 2,000 points. It's not enough to make up any ground. So you absolutely take the Riichi here. We're waiting on 5-8 versus the 4, so seems like early reaches are not paying out. The 5 comes out. It is safe to the first reach, but not the second, and that was the expensive one. And Ura found, so Max deals into the 4th place player. This is going to switch things up. Well, it's going to tie us for 3rd and 4th place. And now Minko is the only player over 30k as we enter South 4. But Vincent starts out with an amazing high pie. 2 tiles away from Tenpai already with Dora inclusion possible and Ipeko chance. An extra pair here, so we could even find Pinfu with Ipeko. The right. Minko has all the shapes necessary for a hand. Oh, Dora drawn by dealer. I really want to keep watching this hand develop. It really looks like the one that's most likely to finish.
Yeah, I think so.
Across the table is a Honitsu brewing. Another good draw for Vincent. Oh, which play do you want to make here? Maybe the 5 pin to incorporate the Dora, or the 5 so is actually almost the same thing.
That's really tough, honestly. I mean, you get one free. Like, you don't have to disrupt the shape too much by dropping the 5 so.
Yeah, the 5 pin gives you perfect Ishanten though. And we see a Chi across the way for Simon, really pushing this Honitsu into play with some good draws. Might even end up in Shinitsu. Of course, to the left, Max aiming to get out of this tie for 3rd and 4th. Has a really nice hand too. 2 away from Tenpai there. Could even call for Tanyao perhaps. Especially because you see the player to your left is discarding all the tiles but 1 suit. Well, at least you'll see that soon enough, presumably.
It's a bit of an awkward draw for Tanyao, but...
Yeah. But that is Ishanten, so I'm sure Max would... Ooh.
There it is.
6 pin reach. Yeah, it doesn't want it. It wants to do better than that. It's so hard to win that Riichi, and if it goes to Yukoku, you might have a chance to put yourself in 2nd, but we've seen that bad weight reach lose so many times, and here isn't the same Tenpai, but you can actually win by Dama. Instead, the Hatsu comes out the 2nd one. It passed the first time, but does not pass the 2nd, and Simon will pick up 5,200 for this Honitsu Hatsu.
That was sneaky. I didn't even see that one come together.
Yeah, that I saw the Tenpai, but I was trying to finish my thought on the other hand, and just like that, the Hatsu draws were like back to back across the table, and the deal in from Vincent there puts Simon over 30k, and so Tech Pro Minko will finish with a positive score plus 26.4, furthering that lead in the A1 division. Simon with a positive finish here moves up 7.6 points. Max a small 3rd place, and Vincent a small 4th place. A -24 for 4th is not bad at all, and this is just it was just an incredibly tight game all around. Players making very fast moves, very fast play, and also very aggressive calls. We saw a lot of disruption in this match. I know some of the players have a bit of a reputation for that, Max being one of them. And perhaps Simon to some degree as well, but it seemed like everybody was getting in on the disruption game. And sometimes the games sort of work out that way. Once one player starts to speed things along and press their own hands forward, you just have to do the same in order to compete with the speed of the other players. So perhaps that's why we saw such aggressiveness in that game. We're preparing to enter the 2nd match of this set. And let's see here.
Pulling it up now.
They started already. believe so. Yes, they have indeed. So it'll be about another minute before that one gets set to go. And let's see, are these the updated standings?
No, I believe I need to refresh them.
Okay. Of course, we know that Minko will be furthering this lead. Quite curious to see what happens to the rest, although we'll come back to that later because I heard the gong, and that means we've started. Minko will be our dealer, Simon to the right. Across the table in the west seat is Max, and to the left in the north seat is Vincent. Well, this time around, Minko starts off with a, well, pretty nice high pie here. Chance that Peko in the Pinzu, a Dora 5-so in hand.
Oh, one second.
Could turn to Tanya Dora 1. 3, 4, 5 Sancho could possible. There's the 4 Mon draw. This could be an amazing hand with the nice draws. To the right, looks like we're aiming for Ricci or some type of Junchan, but you'd have to drop the 4 or 5 shape, which seems a little unlikely. So maybe just Ricci here. Across the table, 3 pairs, but probably making a normal Pinfu hand. There's 2 Dora in hand, so how can we build a hand that incorporates both of them at the same time? Might not be possible, but you're certainly leaning in that direction. And to the left, we have what looks to be a Tanya that's trying to draw a Dora 5-so. In the meantime, Minko has reached Ishan 10, although would necessitate discarding the Dora, but I think for a Ricci, Tanya, Pinfu, Ipeko chance, you would definitely make that play.
Sorry about this. I am trying to fix the standings.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, sometimes refresh causes resizes, and that messes with the screen, but that's okay. And through this round, Minko decides it's time to Sakigiri this 5-so. Don't want to hold this Dora too long because I'm probably finding Tenpai elsewhere first. And we might even have a chance at building Gianpeko should a 5-so get drawn. In the meantime, Max has found a way to incorporate both Dora with a 4-5, 5-6 shape. Ooh, interesting question for Minko here. Do you keep the 6-pin as a technically more efficient shape, or do you just retain the safe west? And I think this is the right play. You give yourself, I think, 3 extra tiles, but you'd almost prefer to just keep the shapes as it is so you can guarantee the Pinfu. Would have been able to call that 3-pin, for example, for Tenpai. And actually, we see a Tenpai on the left for Tanyao, waiting on the 2-5-so. Unwilling to Ricci. I wonder if this is some hesitancy from the previous round, or if you're waiting for something like this draw. San Uncle? No. Okay. That could have been fun.
That would have been.
Yeah, even Dama that for a Suanko chance. Prefers the wider weight here, and I'm not actually sure why there's no Ricci unless Vincent's perhaps expecting another 5-so might leave Minko's hand upon being drawn. We can see those are actually locked up in the other hands. And Simon, Ishanten here for Ricci Pinfu Dora.
Chi.
Max makes the call for Tanya, decides it's getting late, I need to start making a move. And Minko now grabs the wider weight with the Gianpeko chance, but here's a 2-so, not leaving the hand just yet, but if Max finds Tenpai, that will be dealt in. And, well, you could switch the weight. Yeah, found a different way. Oh, I didn't realize the 5-so was the pair in that hand. My bad. After the call. So Max does find the safe route to Tenpai, and it will be 1,500 points for Max and Vincent. And we'll move forward into East 2.
Home.
This is a pretty nice starting hand for Simon.
I definitely agree. Well, when you're Ishan 10 after turn 2, I don't think there's anything else to call it but nice.
You will end up on that 3-so Penchan, though.
Quite likely it's Of course, more likely that you draw 5 or 8 mon before you draw the 3-so, but there is a chance for the Pinfu draw. All right, well, what about the rest of the hands? The right looks like a Tanyao.
Mm-hmm.
Across the table, same, well, not Tanyao, but a West call for a cheap 1,000 points. Again, that
Cheap.
disruption play live and well in this match. And then Minko doing the same sort of thing, has a door in hand, but Atozuke waiting for the East to come out. Must call the East in order to have value here. And that 8 mon is kind of awkward, but it's not terrible.
It is quite awkward.
Because you can end up waiting door Tonki.
That's
which
true.
Would certainly increase the value of your hand. So it looks like the 3-so is lighting up as a deal in tile. Or just the door first. Okay. Speaking of door draws. The 2-so comes out.
Now Simon has the ability to... Oh, does not matter.
Just Tsumo. As is ARML tradition. Minko picks up some extra fu with that Tsumo. And will find the 3 and 40.
What a fortuitous draw.
It was bound to happen. I think both of the Easts were in the wall, so someone had to get it sooner or later. Now, I'm going to quickly scan across to the other side of the table where we see Minko with a pair of the Hatsu, the North, the 8-pin, and the 8 mon. None of these are bad tiles for some sort of toy dash, but I don't know if the North was not able to be called earlier, or if that was just a decision to go to not make that play. The dealer's hand is not bad either, with a chance at 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku, or even just a Richi Pinfu. And to the right, oh, this is also a very nice hand. This looks reminiscent to the dealer hand from the last round with all those Manzu tiles. Even an Itsu chance there, but the 9 mon is thrown back. Perhaps valuing the chance at the 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku a little bit more than the potential Itsu. And then we're just been jumping around this board. On the left, that's a lot of mon tiles. I wonder if the 1-2 would have been valuable to keep in hand here. Of course, I did not get a good look at the start of that hand. So with his door draw, it looks to be more of a normal hand where you call the Hatsune.
I think it does look pretty standard. And Sanmen-chan for Max.
That's very nice, but we see a lot of those tiles are in hand already. And no mon, none of the upper mon tiles have been dropped by Max. So
but the Getsy Pots.
Patsu, Ichipatsu, Pinfu. Ura! Oh my goodness, well, that's the way to make some value. Richidora 1. Richipatsu. Oh, I don't think there was a door in that hand, was there? But yeah, that Ura really makes a huge difference in the value of that hand. And that shoots Max all the way up to first place with another really nice starting hand. A Haku pair, and then Peiko possible in the upper Pinzu. Waiting on the awkward Penchon 7-pin, though.
Yeah, I think you pass on the first Haku just in case you can put this together.
Although we have seen Max make aggressive calls before, and perhaps just with the 2 door in hand. With
never mind.
To be fair, it wasn't until that moment that I noticed that the 2 mon was the door. Usually that's one of the first things you look at in a hand.
Right.
I neglected to do so, and here we find Tempai already. 5 mon.
Yeah, you don't hesitate with those 2 Dora. My mistake.
There is... Oh, switch it up? Yeah, let's go Shampon. Let's get another Mongon, how about? Both of the 2 mon are still in the wall. The remaining ones. The 6 mon is kind of dead. I think if you draw the 7 mon, there's some inclination to switch to the...
I think you do.
But there's so much value in the Dora.
Each.
Oh, we see a Richi to the left. And Max is going to push full steam ahead here. His hand's worth pushing 4,800 minimum. Sorry, 5,800. I guess 4,800 is still technically the minimum. Or a minimum. But let's see. Wait here. 5,800 for the Richi on the left. Richi Nomi. Really, it's just a matter of who could draw the tile first. Only 3 of the 5/8 in the wall, and well, just the two mon in the wall for Max.
Right.
So for dealer 2, for the player on the left, 3. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty tense.
ドン
So we'll come out and deal in. Ricci
You
Yomi.
could be worse.
Yeah, totally acceptable losses there. Especially with the value of your own hand that you were pushing. Vincent. Potential Itsu in the Pinzu. A little bit of an awkward hand outside of that. Right, Minko has a sequence and a pair, a couple Yamen, so it could be Pinghu here, reach Pinghu. You would love to incorporate a door as well if drawn across the way. This looks like another standard Ricci hand. You're holding that lone Dora, hoping to draw a connector. And then on the left, Max, already with the Anko of the East. I wonder if we'll see another calling hand. Has a Dora as well. And considering this one even...
Yeah,
think
it
it's
doesn't
good
it
to
doesn't
pass.
speed it up too much.
That's one of your better shapes too. You'd rather be calling something like the 2-pin.
Right.
And rewarded for by drawing the 7-pin there.
No,
And then you just draw the 6
draw it
by
yourself. Yeah.
リーチ
Oh, but there's the Tempai for Minko and the fast reach Pingfu. Just reach Pingfu currently. 4-7 is the weight. 4-7 Mon
ス
or
モ
in the wall. We'll just
Max-
Ipot Sumo. That's twice now that Minko has done this. It's always so nice when you get this to happen. Note it up, but that's a nice pickup. We'll tie for first. in fact.
Max sitting over here being like, I'm working so hard for my points. And the game is just handing you this stuff.
To be fair, Max has also had some sparkling high pie as well.
That's true.
But yeah, when your opponent is hitting the Ipotsu, it feels like you should be due one as well. Well, speaking about players who are due,
ポン
across the table we see the South player. That's Simon. We'll switch perspectives now. And so the South player on the right now has drawn a pair of Dora, an Uncle of the 7-so, and Tanyao tiles galore. So this looks like a fairly expensive Tanyao, especially if you can find the third 8-pin. Well, one of them currently being used in Minko's hand, and Minko is actually Ishan 10 already, hoping to draw a 7-pin. Ooh, could drop the 6 here.
That's probably what I would do.
And you can shade towards some type of Junchan, something you can call towards. Right now, headless. And of course, you can still incorporate the Dora. In fact, you could draw a second Dora and declare Ricci.
The Junchan would be interesting. But really only if 1-so comes into hand.
Speaking of interesting draws, to the right, Simon has drawn an Anko of the 2 months and finds a very nice Ishanten. However, if you draw the Anko of the 3 or the 8, I wonder if Simon will Dama for the Suanko.
A good I think with the point situation, perhaps.
Han chance for Minko. Will it be taken?
I don't
Declined.
think that's the play.
Currently in the lead, tied with Max. You do get an extra draw, like a redraw.
There it is. So
All right. This is a callable Junchan now.
now, yeah. I think I would call for it in this position.
One of the 1 mon has been discarded. So you'd expect to see another one in the near future. It's funny to see your Itsu lying discarded, the 4-5-6. Oh, there's one of the 1 mon you wanted. So now that weight's a little thin. Across the table, Max has entered Tempai. 5-8 pin is the weight for Hatsu or Hatsudora. Probably maintain the same weight here.
チ
Tempai to the left now.
Now this Junchan is effectively...
Oh, Minko does not want the Ricci on the 7-pin. Throws the 3 mon back. 7 is quite hard to get as it's near the Dora, One has been discarded, and one is the Dora indicator. Unwilling to make that play.
Yeah, the only one left is the one in Max's hand.
Right, because there was one called to the left. So Sumo found for Max. Not the expensive end, but the change of points is not that much anyway. A small lead here for Max heading into South 2. And this will be Simon's dealership. For Simon, Hatsu pair, although one of them is the Dora indicator. Although we see none of the Chun Dora are present in any of these hands at the moment.
No.
Simon, I'm sure we'll call the Hatsu as soon as it comes out. If it comes out at all. But it seems to be drawing well outside
nice
of this.
pickup.
Wonder if Ipeko will be drawn into in the upper mon. The issue is you have to drop one of your nice floaters and retains the 6 mon and the 4 so as the floaters of choice. And I guess that was the right choice as the 5 so is picked up. Do any of the other hands look good?
Max's hand looks okay for Pinfu.
Yeah, Ishanten. Actually, there's a chance at Sanchoku if you draw the 5 so.
So there is, yeah.
Across the table, there's the South Uncle already, which means Vincent can call if he chooses.
I think Vincent well, I suppose that would be an Uma play, like a, just inch closer to 30k.
Right. Well, let's forget that. Let's go for Honitsu now.
Totally fair.
Ishanten with a really wide shape. I think but the 6 gives you 10 point. Here's the nut, and we'll declare the reach.
Yeah.
I guess the 1 as well wouldn't have done it, but...
1
3. 2 5 so.
Simon
wait.
shifts to Tanyao.
Makes the 9 mon draw a little awkward. Well, here's Tempai for Max, but do you want to fight against this? Does not.
Kan.
Oh, Kan? Kan at 9 isn't the winning tile. 6 mon is revealed to be the new Dora. Max has to think about if he wants to push this given so draw. I think we'll see a call here for Tempai. Simon will wait on the 7 pin. This is Tempai for Minko. Would have to drop the 8 so.
1
And does do so. We've seen Minko play aggressively when they have Tempai. And this is no different. Even though the Sozu looks kind of shaky. 4 7 so is the weight. 5 just came out, so it should be safe. But Simon is thinking about whether he wants to trap the other players, and he thinks the 7 pin is safe enough to do so.
An interesting play.
Max safely follows suit. Not going to just drop the 5 without any extra consideration. Could wait Dora Tonki here.
1
Oh, it does make the play. Okay.
Wow.
There's 1 left, and it's in Max's hand. Oh. 1 so. Safe to 1 reach player, but not the other. Pushes it anyway. Six so dangerous, but it passes. There's the 5 pin. Oh no, the 2 comes out, and that's going to deal into a massive hand. Riichi South, Honitsu for 3, and
oh my god. Oh.
And just like that, we have a new leader.
Wow.
Vincent eats the points from Minko, who doesn't fall out of into 4th, rather. Still in 3rd place, but that is a massive hit. Alrighty, here we go.
More Uda-san.
We've seen it twice now. Uda-san to make Baimon.
Yep.
South 3, Max dealership, now has a new opponent to overtake. This time Vincent on the right. Draws a Dora East, but throws it right back out as this looks like it's Tanyao. Right. It is Vince who's trying to extend this lead just a little bit before we enter South 4. Dian Shanten there.
What
Across
a
the
shape.
table. Yeah, this is really complex,
Okay.
but Max is pretty good at reading those. It simplifies greatly by discarding the 4-pin.
Yes.
As commentators, we appreciate that. Of course, across the table, Binko had the South pair, but probably wants to do better than just calling the South here. Well, that's an upgrade in shape for Max. So now Pinhui Shanten, potentially Tanyao as well, could swap the pin shape to make a Inipeko. Ishanten on the left for Simon, looking for Itsu. Now it's a game of who can find the Tenpai first. Ishanten on the right.
The 3 Dora discards in Max's pond are already is kind of amusing.
It's
That
so
feels like
sad to
more of that
see,
the wall trolling.
right? The wall gives you a
Each.
high pie that says you don't need any honors, so you drop the Dora, and then all of a sudden,
Oh, Max is in trouble.
he might call and drop this 7.
1
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Champong wait. And this is Tenpai to the right as well. Vince on the 4-7. The 7 that just came out. Unfortunately, no one has drawn one that they can discard. Otherwise, we might have seen it already. And despite the danger of dealing into Simon here, Max, unwilling to give up this dealership, wants to press forward to claim first place here. Of course,
4
there's the 8, and it's a double roan. Oh, this is going to be expensive. Richi Itsu. We'll have to hit the OK to see the other. Oh, as we know, it's a Tanyao. So that's the Mangan 8,000, and Tanyao for 1,500. The Richi stick will go to Simon. And we're good to go again. Well, that actually knocks Minko down into 4th place. That is a huge swing of points.
yeah, for sure. That was a really dangerous push.
And looking at this hand, another pretty reasonable starting hand. Nice shapes for Max. No
1
Dora here, but okay, better
Already a
shapes for
reach.
Vince, I guess.
Oh,
It's an
3
awkward,
Mon.
yeah,
Yeah.
3-mon Penchan. Richi Nomi, but
I would have probably held out to see if I could make some kind of
Itsu.
Itsu. But again, this is placement play. I understand.
Yeah, Vince in the running, so wants to retain first place. Will put pressure on Max to put together a hand, but Max is drawing amazingly well. Now pulls in a
Yeah,
4-mon that will help
I was
secure.
a little concerned there for a second until
And finds tempo.
wow.
Oh, goodness. Not like this. It's a 1-4, so wait for Richi. Pinfu 4, so would be Tanyao. We can see 5 of those tiles are in the wall versus the 2 3-mon that Vince has a chance at.
And with such a small amount of information, that Wenso might end up. Well, Minko has a couple of safer tiles first.
Yes, I think there will be several discards before the 1, so, but you're right. In the future, if nothing else is revealed to be safe, it is near the edge. You can see 2 of the 2 so right now.
Well, if you keep drawing like this, then you're safe.
Yeah. Minko, for better or for worse, not drawing very well at the moment. In that 4 versus 2 race,
And Max
does
gets
pull
it.
in the 1 cell. And the Ura as well. Nice find to put Max up to 50,000. Yeah, was very fortunate. He had just a bunch of honor tiles to discard early and never really drew anything dangerous until Tenpai. So was able to easily push against the early reach from Vince. And now with another reasonable starting hand, 2 away from Tenpai already. Some very fast high pies here. It seems like in this set, the first Ricci isn't always the best Ricci. Players have been able to successfully chase.
Definitely.
Yeah, sometimes you have games where it seems like the first Ricci always wins no matter how bad the weight. And this is not one of those games. It's the exact opposite. All the good draws keep coming in for Max. And as viewers, we're all hoping that happens to us in the near future. Shanten now, but the weight could be awkward. See how this changes. To the right, we have a Dora and now a second Dora. How many pairs? We're up to 3. Not sure if this is just going to be a Ricci hand or if you can make pairs out of it. Across the table, Minko probably pushing for a Tanya, but wants to incorporate the Dora in some way, shape, or form. Looking more like a Ricci to the right now that the sequence has been completed. Finally, on the left, 5 pairs and an Anko now. So will Simon commit to the Chitoi, or will we be making a push for a larger hand?
Well,
Chitoi
looks like we have our
Kamiro.
answer.
Probably based off of the fact that 2 of the 1 pins had already been discarded.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
It makes it look a little bit harder. Max, in the meantime, has drawn into the Ipeco in the Manzu. Sorry, that's not the Manzu, that's the Sozu. Oh, another Anko drawn for Simon.
Oh,
Hopefully we don't see anything
now
tragic.
Max can cut that Penchon and has a... Well, what's the stat?
Yeah, it would be
Well, no.
Shampoo weight if you draw the 1-4. Oh, that's Hudi 10.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you...
So should you draw the 1-4, it's actually a really nice weight because the 1 so looks so safe.
It does, and it is not cut yet.
Oh, pairs. This is pairs Tempai.
1
Takes the Ricci,
Totally
in fact.
fair.
1 Mon. Well, we can see them all. 1's been discarded, 1 in hand, and then the pair to the left in
Each.
Simon's hand.
And
Chase now.
Chase,
Will the second Ricci win once again? Or 7.
I was looking...
West.
That 4 is still possible.
Yeah, it's still in the wall somewhere. 1-7 as well as, and 1 West. The new Dora, by the way, was the Hatsu. We can see that's not going to have a factor in this match. It's been discarded already.
We may see Vincent rewarded for this pretty crafty Entotsu chase here.
Eric points out in chat the 2-pin would have been Ipatsu. Tsumo. So sad. Oh, there's another 7, but that... What used to fit a Chitoi hand, but Simon was bailing out of this. Well, there's a West. It's pretty safe, but the tune is safer. Decides Minko, and is correct. So we will find Ryukyoku, Max, Vincent, both the players in the lead, picking up the points. 2 sticks in the pot, 3 Honba. The next win is going to be fairly expensive. Nice bonuses to pick up here. Who's got the fastest hand?
Let's do a check. Simon.
2 Yakuhai pairs, great shapes. Definitely feels like Simon's in the lead here. Now, can Simon afford a fast hand? I think so, because there's a South 4 after this.
I don't know if you have a whole lot of choice with this particular Hi-Fi.
Home.
And there we go, the instant call. Deciding which floater is a better one. I think the 4-mon is the normal discard here. Very likely you'll end up with a 6 as your pair, although you could go headless here. That drops the 6 so floater. This makes a lot of sense. So you draw the 8-mon. You've got a nice Yamen shape. Oh, Champon, that's okay. It's not great though, because it's a middle Champon. Your upgrades, the 5-mon isn't good because you're Hudi 10 if you switch the Yamen, but you still have the 8-mon as a potential weight shape upgrade. You can see there's one of each of the 6-mon and 7-mon in the wall. Across the table, Toyman, Minko, Ishanten. 3-mon would be a nice pickup here for Pinghu. Instead, moves more towards the Tanya route. Or maybe is willing to force the 2-3-4 Sanshoku.
Looks like that's certainly in mind.
This might also be a defensive play, although I'm not sure Binko can afford it.
1
We do see Yorichi. This is pairs again. 7 pairs. Chi Toitsu waiting on the 2-pin.
Those are all pretty well accounted for unless Max cuts the penchant for some reason.
We do see the Ricci tile Suji trap set. Simon in an awkward position where he just kind of does drop the 2. Didn't really have anything super safe.
Did
so
not have
trusted
anything
the
safe,
Suji.
so that's the best you could do. Yeah.
Well, this is going to make South 4 exciting. Vincent catching up now, only 4,300 points behind, and the dealer has a pair of East to begin. Door is the West Wind. 1 West in the hand to the right. That is Minko's hand. Minko needs at least 5,500 to surpass Simon, or a large enough sumo to do so would work as well. Vincent calls the East and is now 2 away from Tenpai, just aiming to win the hand and go again. Across the table, that's a potential Junchan Ipeko forming. Would need to draw the 3-mon 9-pin 1-so. And on the left, Max just trying to end things. Finds the Hatsu, calls away, and this is Shanten. Seeking a pair right now. That could be any of the 5-8 so or 3-mon. There's your 5. There's your Tenpai. The 8-mon although has been cut twice. But it's drawn again, and it doesn't come out. Simon saves himself 1 turn. It feels like any second it's going to.
Yeah. The two so probably first.
Yeah, Vincent headless right now, Ishanten, but I'm not sure he's going to get a chance to find a head here, a pair.
No, never mind.
Yeah, retained in hand, and once again, Max with a fast hand to finish things away.
Yeah,
and
ends it.
Find the big win.
But a plus 22 second is there are first place that are lower than that, so
absolutely. Plus 37.4 for Max, plus 22.1 for Vincent. Simon with the negative 22.5 third, and Minko with the negative 37.0 fourth.
Minko will retain first in the division, but not by as much as before.
Yeah, well, had won a big match right just before, and so had some points to spare, and just not gaining as much as they would have hoped for. See, it was a plus 26.4, so a small negative in total, and it's Max who ends up being the big winner in these 2 games. Going ahead and taking a look at the overall standings, yeah, Minko plus 166 in a tight race with Steve, and Vincent 123 is only about 40 points behind, 43.6 to be exact, and we'll have a snaked round where placement matters in this final week upcoming, final 2 weeks rather, in session 6. Will be exciting to see that top group battle it out for first place overall and a chance to play in the end of year final match where the winner of A1 in each season gets to battle it out. Looking at the rest of the players at this table, Max at plus 74 climbing slowly but surely will have another chance in the final round. And Simon finishes at plus 7.7, losing a little bit of ground, I think, overall, but still comfortably out of the demotion zone. So it might not be possible to claim first place overall, but seems to be pretty safe moving forward to stay in A1. Well, those were certainly some exciting matches.
Yeah, they were. I don't know if there was too many big standout plays. There's no Yakuman or anything, but still some high stakes play, some assertive play. So
Absolutely. Some very attentive play, aware of what's going around, what the other hands are being, which hands might have the value, preventing that value from coming into hand. And we did see some of the larger hands a little bit later in the second match.
that's
So,
true, yeah.
a slightly different brand of Mahjong than what we saw in the earlier matches this evening, but incredibly fun to watch nonetheless. And I know it'll only get crazier starting next Monday. We still have a few more games before that final session starts. I know we'll probably be broadcasting again, well, at the very least on Sunday, but
Possible there will be one between now and then.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned to that. Make sure you follow the Twitch channel to become notified whenever we go live with a broadcast. If you are interested in being a member of the American Ricci Mahjong League, you can certainly register for the fall season. That registration is still open until September 19th, so you have a little bit less than 2 weeks to go. That fall season will be starting shortly. You can register on the website at americanricci.org. You can follow us at Twitter at AmericanRicci. And if you'd like to watch any of our previous broadcasts, you can certainly do so. They all get uploaded to our YouTube channel, tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. And all of these links should be on your screen right now. All right, well, any final thoughts, Michael? Those were certainly some fun ones.
Oh, I think I don't know if I have any final thoughts. I think we expressed them all during the games, but yeah, no, I had a good time tonight.
All right, well, I will certainly be on the lookout for 3-mon penchant weights, as those seem to be coming into play.
Yeah, I guess that's the story of the night in a way.
If anybody missed it, check out Lucas's 3-mon wins earlier. They were certainly amusing to see. And, well, with that being said, thank you all for watching this broadcast. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, this is Nathaniel and Michael signing out for tonight.
Yeah, have a great one.